postseason must seem just like a bad dream.
There's days when you just don't come to play, and when you don't come to play and the other ones do, then you're in a bad time.
For while the defense sometimes would click, against the Bengals, they couldn't hit worth the lick.
Were you guys really that bad today?
Yes.
The films provide some clues. Dallas is a blitzing team, and when the blitz does not work, you get burned. But there's another theory. It's that the defense might be so good, it creates more problems than it can solve.
Our defense is so finely tuned that if your techniques are not good against a good operating offense, we'll get hurt pretty bad, as you saw in the film.
As physical as football can be, it's also a mental game. The beating by the Bears had just become a memory when the Bengals whipping occurred. So now the defense has to psych itself up again this Sunday.
If you're not mad at yourself for a game like that, then I don't think you should be playing football.
The other guys are out there trying to defeat you, and you have to stay together because you're going to have your ups and downs throughout the season. And I think the ability for this team to bounce back is showing that togetherness.
We are where we want to be. You know, we have a chance to accomplish our goal to win the East and pick up a little extra cash here and there.
To get the cash, the defense is counting on their old hands to see them through.
It's been our older guys, our leaders that have come through, and people like Everson Walls, like Dennis Thurman, who have maintained their excellence. You know, nobody predicted us to do what we've done, and we've done it with the same club we did it with last year when we were not in the playoffs.
It's been said that those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. It's a lesson the Dallas defense has had to learn the hard way.
We beat St. Louis when we had to beat them, come back. We beat Philadelphia when we had to beat them. It's a test every week. It's a challenge every week. One, as players, we enjoy. And whether we got beat 50-24 or 100-24, we're going to be out there. We're going to be fighting. We're going at the Giants, and we're going to win this division.
Now, despite the Dallas Cowboys' defensive slump, they still have an excellent defense. And Parcells told me that in order for the Giants to break it, he has a few trick plays up his sleeve. Oh, by the way, expect the Cowboys to come up with a few trick plays, too, against the Giants. Should be wide open. Brett?
All right, Herb. Jim McMahon, what about the Cowboy defense? The Bears humiliated them down in Texas. What do you think of that group?
Well, I think their defense is just very aggressive. You know, they put a lot of pressure on the quarterback and they take a lot of chances. And when they do that, they're susceptible to the big play, and that's what's been happening to them.
Johnny, how do you look at the Giant effort down in Dallas today in that game?
I think Giants are going to have to be 110%, Brett, to be able to beat Dallas.
All right, we'll continue with the NFL today on CBS in just a moment. About exploiting the success they've enjoyed this season. You know, they seem to be scoring as many points off the field as they do in the games that count on the field. And one of their latest ventures is a music video that perfectly reflects their breezy self-confidence. And to no one's surprise, they're calling it the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Shuffle on down, do it for you. We're so bad, we know we're good. Blowing your mind like we knew we would. You know we're just strutting for fun, strutting our stuff for everyone. We're not here to start no trouble. We're just here to do the Super Bowl Shuffle.
Well, they call me Sweetness, and I like to dance. Running and falling like Mickey Moore Mance. We had the goal since training camp to give Chicago a Super Bowl champ.
I'm the punky QB known as McMahon. When I hit the turf, I've got no plan. I just throw my body all over the field. I can't dance, but I can throw the field. I motivate the cats, I like to tease. I play so cool, I aim to please. That's why you all got here on the double to catch me doing the Super Bowl Shuffle.
You're looking at the fresh, I'm the rookie. I may be lost, but I'm no dumb cookie. You see me hit, you see me run. When I kick and pass, we'll have more fun. I can dance, you will see. The others, they all learn from me. I didn't come here looking for trouble. I just came to do the Super Bowl Shuffle.
A monster hit. Easier than playing quarterback?
I tell you what, playing quarterback's a lot easier than doing videos. And, you know, I basically got into it because the Chicago needy people were, you know, we're in trouble, and that's the main reason I got involved with it.
All right, Jim. Well, I have a program note for those of you in the Washington and Los Angeles areas. A reminder that the CBS games in your cities will begin later this afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll see the rest of you at halftime, along with Jim McMahon and Johnny Unitas. So long, everybody.
The year was 1963, the last time the New York Giants won the National Football League's Eastern Conference title. These Giants dominated the NFL in the late 50s and early 60s. The symbols of that dynasty are embodied in the names and faces of men who are legends, men who helped shape NFL history. One of the teams the Giants beat up on in the early 60s was the Dallas Cowboys, whose head coach Tom Landry had previously been a defensive coach with the Giants. The Cowboys then were a far cry from the Cowboys of recent years. Offensively, they were hardly explosive, while the defense was mostly self-destructive. It wasn't unusual at all to see their best plays backfire. But by the 70s, the situations had reversed. Landry's teams had won 2 Super Bowls. But today, the Giants are back on top with a new exciting style and a never-say-die attitude that has restored the pride and winning tradition that was once synonymous with the name Giants. Today's heroes are Sims and Morris and Taylor and Marshall, who along with the rest of their team are on the doorstep of the NFC East title. But in their way are the Dallas Cowboys, who seek to regain the title themselves. Tony Dorsett is having one of his best seasons, and the Dallas defense, led by Randy White, is not about to take the Giants' challenge without a fight. The Cowboys are the proven winners in the NFC East and have their own tradition to protect. They've met 46 times before today, but never in a game as important as this. The NFC East title is on the line. The Giants against the Cowboys next on CBS.
It is a sellout stadium at Texas Stadium in Irving, of course, for this meeting between the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys on Week 15 of the 1985 NFL season. And we have been blessed with gorgeous mid-December weather. Temperature at kickoff, 42 degrees, a slight wind out of the southwest, and the forecast for continued clear skies. A look at the standings makes it easy to discuss the importance of the game. If Dallas wins today, they win the NFC Eastern title. If the Giants win today and win next week, or either Dallas or Washington loses, the Giants will win the championship for the first time in 22 years. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. These two proud franchises first played each other in 1960, and it is perhaps a testimony to the differing fortunes of each that this is the first time in the ensuing 25 years that Dallas has played New York this late in the season with a division championship on the line. Terry, what strikes you as something that might be a key element to look for in terms of a Giant victory?
Well, one of the things that Bill Parcells told me last night, and he repeated it several times, Vern, was the fact that they feel like they have to get to Danny White, not necessarily sack him, which would be nice, but they would like to touch him, bump him, kick him around a little bit, make him hurry his throws, because they feel like if they can do this, they'll take Danny out of his rhythm and he'll start worrying about the rush of the line. If they can do that, if they allow him to get set, though, they feel like they're in for a long day. So pressure on White.
Two of the amazing stories of the 85 seasons for the Cowboys, 44 points given up to Chicago, 50 to Cincinnati. Now, how in the world do you come back and get something going defensively?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm glad you and I don't have to answer it. The problem, or the solution today for the Cowboys, talking to Ernie Stotner, we have got to find that intimidating, that striking defense that is so reminiscent of the Cowboys of old. We have the ability today. The key for us to beat the New York Giants is for our defense to be dominating.
It is all on the line, and Eric Schubert is ready to kick off. The Cowboys have won the toss, and Kenny Duckett, in only his second game for Dallas, is the deep man. This will not be Duckett. James Jones gives the Cowboys excellent field position at the 29-yard line. And for Dallas, Danny White joins Dorsett. Timmy Newsome and injured Tony Hill will start. He's had a pulled hamstring and has not practiced this week. Mike Renfro is the other wide receiver. Chris Schultz goes against Leonard Marshall, the other offensive line. Titans are Tom Rafferty starting his 140th straight game. Kurt Peterson, Jim Cooper, and a hobbled Doug Cosby, who also missed 2 days of practice this week. First down 10 Dallas. Cowboys will throw on first down across the middle to Cosby. Good for the catch at the 37-yard line. Kenny Hill, number 48, makes the tackle. Defensively for the Giants, and it is a dandy. McGriff, Burt, and Leonard Marshall up front. The linebackers, best quartet in the NFL, or NFC certainly. Hunt, Reasons, Carson, and Lawrence Taylor. And in the secondary, Elvis Patterson, Perry Williams, Kenny Hill, and Terry Kennard. Mark Haynes is on the injured reserve list. Second down, 2 Cowboys. 2 wide receivers set, left side. That is Newsom out of the backfield. And Dorsett with a quick pitch. To the 47-yard line. Harry Carson, 53. Terry Kennard, 43. Finally caught up with it.
First, right out of the box, we saw a nice short pass to Cosby by White. Got his rhythm. Now we see a little opposite set and go back to the tight end side. Good blocking by the entire right side of the Cowboys as Dorsett picks up the first down. And then Carson had to come over and make the stop.
First down of the game. The Cowboys first and 10 at their own 47. Dorsett. And that offensive line did move the pile for Dorsett. He's across the Giant country as Curtis McGriff, number 76, made the tackle.
Vern, one of the things you really like to look for early in a ball game is as people come out and they just attack guys, run the ball simply. All they're trying to do is just establish contact. But boy, in the first 3 plays, we've seen the offensive line of the Cowboys really stick it in there to the defensive line of those Giants, hold them up, create holes. White's had time to throw, and Dorsett's got the big yardage. That's a gain of 6 for Dorsett. Second down, 4. Newsom in motion. Flag is down. Free play for White. Caught by Tony Hill. If the play stands, Tony Hill has now set a single season record of 74 catches. He breaks a tie he had with Ron Springs. And that also is the 59th consecutive game in which he has caught a pass, breaking a tie he held with Drew Pearson.
Defense, right side of the line, offside, decline, first down.
Fred Silva, the referee, and Tony Hill occupies a couple of spots in the Cowboy record book alone.
One of the things you like about their passing attack is the fact that Danny's setting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plant, boom, throw the football. So they really know exactly what they want to do here early in this first drive.
First down, 10 for 38. 2 wide receivers again come left side. Dorsett the motion man. Newsom. Little counter play. He starts right and cuts back to the left and runs right into Jim Burt. Nose guard, number 64. Newsom did not have a great day in Cincinnati last week. There is Jim Burt. Doesn't get a lot of publicity, but widely regarded as one of the best blue-collar nose tackles in the business.
Well, those nose tackles, you know, those guys are about 6'1", 6'2", weighing, you know, 280 to 300 pounds, and they get that, look at him, you know, just big, strong guy, and they get down there and root these guys out and tie up the middle, and he does an outstanding job of it.
Teams have not run well against New York. Second down and 7. White to throw. Little pressure, flips it out incomplete. Intended for Newsom. It was Andy Hedden, number 54, the linebacker who drew a beat White and almost got there.
Well, that's the first time that, as we look at Hedden, 54, guy they like to bring in situations where they're anticipating pass because he's so good at rushing the passer and also Vern at dropping those backs. But that was one of the things that Parcells had told us early. He said, we want to rush White. We don't necessarily have to sack him, and that was a good case sack him, but they forced that throw.
From the shotgun for the first time. 3rd and 7 at the New York 35. A lot of time for White, and Kennard stepped Cosby and should have had it. Terry Kennard almost interception. It'll be 4th down.
Well, you're going to see a great effort by Kennard as White steps into the pocket and gives them plenty of time, but there's no reason to throw this ball. Gosh, look at that. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 Giants sitting around Cosby. Ideal thing to do there, step up in the pocket and go somewhere else.
It would be a 52-yard field goal for Rafael Septien. Tom Landry says no, we'll go with Mike Saxon.
There is Phil McConkey. He waits at the 13-yard line. That's a deliberate delay of game by the Cowboys. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Offense delay.
Giants, of course, won both games against the Cowboys last year, and in reality, it was the second loss here, 19-7, that caused the Cowboys a playoff spot. There's Bill Parcells, 22-25-1, now in his third year as the head coach. And Tom Landry, who is prowling the sidelines for the 405th time of a Dallas Cowboy game. Saxon moves back 5 more to the 45. Could be. How about that? Touchback.
Great effort. Look at Saxon. Doggone it, I thought I had it. That was a good shot and a great effort by the Cowboys that time.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Maurice Carthen opens in the backfield with Joe Morris, and Morris does not get the handoff. Sims comes deep right side, and it is incomplete. Everson Walls contending with Byron Williams. The Giants lineup will have Sims at quarterback, and in the backfield, Morris and Maurice Carthen, Byron Williams and Bobby Johnson. Lionel Manuel, of course, the leading receiver on the team, is on injured reserve. The offensive line, Brad Fenson, Billy Ard, Bart Oates, Chris Godfrey, Carl Nelson, and a hobbled Mark Bavaro, who sprained an ankle in practice Friday, but he is starting. Bill McConkey has come into the wide receiver set now, 2nd and 10. Joe Morris for about 4. Cowboy defense has given up 428 yards per game in the last 4, and here are the culprits: Jones, Dutton, White, and Jeffco. The linebackers, as the Giants go with a no-huddle offense. And here's Sims back on the left side. He's got a man open. McConkey has a first down at the 39-yard line. Well, Bill Parcells told us last night they might go with a no-huddle. They did some last week against Houston, and he also said they borrowed it from Cincinnati.
I said, Coach, where did you come up with this no-huddle offense? He said, there you are. Illegal procedure on the Cowboys. I'm sure they'll decline that.
Defense, 12 men on the field, refuse, first down.
And he said they picked it up from watching the films of the Bengals, and one of the things they like about it is the fact that you can get up there and get penalties just like this, 12 men on the field of play, which is illegal. I'll get into it more later.
First down, 10, Giants. Joe Morris with Carthen in front. Goes left, cuts back, breaks one, can't break the other. Loses a yard. Terry, one point about the no-huddle that we talked about last night with them. It's a little tougher to run the no-huddle when you're on the road, isn't it?
Well, if it's, I don't know. I never read
because of the crowd noise.
The crowd noise may be a factor. They're bringing those signals. As you can see, they're flashed in. But the point being is that you can get up there and catch a team off guard. You can run your plays faster, and all you got to do is say ready, and everybody jumps down and gets set and snap the ball, which is what happened. They got them that penalty.
2nd and 10. No score in the game. 10:55 to go, first quarter. McConkey in motion. Blitz is coming. Sims going deep down the middle. McConkey is going to score. Drops it. Navy men around the world have just jumped off ships.
You're looking at McConkey, number 80. He's flying down the field. No one there. And there's the pass. Boy, hits him on the right hand. He didn't get both hands on the football, Vern, and drops the football. No one there. All that was a linebacker blitz, not a safety blitz, and the responsibility for the deep middle, someone messed up.
Graduate of the Naval Academy. 3rd and 9. Shotgun. Bart Oates over the ball. Cowboys are not blitzing. They are stunning defensively. Byron Williams has the ball drilled and incomplete. Williams is the fastest of the receivers. He does not have great hands. You saw an example of it then.
And I think McConkey will go in the same category, given evidence of that first play. Sean Landetta is on to punt.
Well, those are two fine throws by Sims, hitting them right in the hands. One could have been a touchdown. It wasn't. It wasn't. He comes back, hits Williams. He drops it.
Gordon Banks, fresh in a Cowboy uniform, and a great kick by Landetta. Banks will let it go. Touchback. And for the New York Giants, it's a case of woulda, coulda, and shoulda. We are scoreless. Cincinnati and the Redskins are notched at 7 in the first quarter. Cleveland over Houston by 7, their first quarter score. Buffalo leads Pittsburgh by 7. And Detroit playing at home, of course, is Green Bay 7-0 in the first quarter. Indianapolis over Tampa Bay. And we have 10:29 to go, first quarter here. Cowboys second set, they've got it from their own 20-yard line. After hearts beat rapidly among the fans and the defensive unit of the Cowboys here at Texas Stadium. Dorsett to the 23-yard line. Harry Williams, number 23, made the tackle. Dorsett back in 1980 in New York rushed for 183 yards against the Giants. That was a game the Giants won 38-35. He has not gained over 100 against New York since then. That is one of the 3 games in which he has rushed for over 100, as a matter of fact, and the Cowboys have lost.
I knew we would get that.
Well-known graphic. Now we've dispensed with that for the day. Second down and 6. Gotta have to hurry. They got 3 seconds to go before they draw a delay of game call. Danny White has to call timeout.
Well, you got to figure a play like that, they probably run all week in practice, Vernon. What happens is it more than likely could have been a new play from a new formation, or it could have been an old play from a new formation, and they just weren't real sure because none of them seemed to know exactly what they were going to do.
Well, they used one of the 3. Coming up next Saturday, a special edition of the NFL Today, the NFL Then and Now. We'll cover the last 20 years. That starts at 3:30 Eastern Time. And that will be followed by the NFL Today, Washington Redskins, and the St. Louis Cardinals, 3:30 Eastern Time. All of that next Saturday here on CBS Sports. Redskins just refuse to die. They are still in the playoff hunt, and they will remain there if they can defeat Cincinnati today.
You know, those Redskins, as we look at Tom Landry and Danny White, you know, they kind of gave up on them when Theismann went down, and that Schrader guy's come in there and rallied them. They played well, won a lot of games, still in the hunt.
Now the Cowboys will regroup with a second down and 6. 9:44 to go first quarter. Dallas looked crisp on its first offensive set. They got as far as the 35-yard line. The Giants on their first offensive set had McConkey open down the middle for a touchdown.
Yeah, the Cowboys, Vern, they drive down, they look pretty sharp, and then they bad throw by White to Cosby, and then all of a sudden the Giants, they turn that thing around, and boy, they hit the big pass and it's dropped. They turn around on the 3rd down pass and it's dropped. So, you know, that old confidence level has got to be a little bit low, really, on both sides here.
Giants have only won 3 times here. Last year 19-7, and before that in 1974 and in 1972. The only Giant victories against the Cowboys here. From the I formation, and just by the way, 5 linebackers in now for New York. Dorsett, he's got some room. A flag is down back to the 29. As expected, holding Dallas.
Offense, number 61, at the point of attack on the line of scrimmage. Holding.
Jim Cooper. And that wipes out a 22-yard gain for Tony Dorsett.
Well, there's a chance you're not going to see the Giants come back out in that defensive set. That time they stacked their linebackers, Vern, stacked them in between their tackle and nose guard and outside wide. Boy, the Cowboys did a super job of going right in there and blowing them out and getting a big gain. Of course, unfortunately for them, they had a holding call.
Second down, 16. Not a ton. Catch is made, but not for much. Doug Cosby, the tight end. Kenny Hill, number 48, was right there to make the tackle.
The thing that's impressive is that White is having time. He's getting a 5-step drop, plenty of time. Boy, the offensive line doing a good job. That time, Martin, 75, held up from going inside. And then Danny just stayed to the right side, never came off of Cosby, and virtually no gain, actually lost 5 yards. Now look at Schultz, 66, the left tackle, and Marshall. Boy, he's doing a good job. Got a little hole in there, but Marshall says, I expect that.
From the shotgun on 3rd and 15, White with a rollout. Looks back, fires the ball, caught, and it'll be a first down at the 31. Carl Poe, number 81. He is a 7th-round draft choice from Alabama State.
Well, they put a linebacker outside. This time, actually, Poe comes around Reasons. Now, you see him in the slot as he's going to come downfield. Hunt turns him loose. Reasons, 55, is dropping back, going to the outside. Now, Poe sees this, and he stops now. He comes back to the right side, and boy, White fires it in there to get a first down. Reasons gets up, and he said, hey, he pushed me off.
That is only his 6th catch of his career. Danny White told him Friday, Carl, if you have to play a lot, you're going to catch 6 for 180 today. First down, 10, Dallas from the 31-yard line. Scoreless first quarter, 7:40 to go. Dorsett for about 3 to the 34. There is Carson and Lawrence Taylor make the tackle. Cincinnati with that potent offense has gone on top of the Redskins, 14-7. Our score, 0-0. 7:20 to go, first quarter. And again, it's very simple. If the Cowboys win, they win the NFC Eastern Division title for the first time since 1981. If the Giants win, it's their first division title in 22 years. Providing, of course, that they win one more or either Dallas or Washington loses one more. Not quite so simple for New York. Second down, 6. White pressured this time. Threw it away. There is no flag for intentional grounding, though the Giants would claim that's what happened.
Now, if you're in Giants Stadium and White throws this ball, this place erupts, boo and everything, hollering. But the thing a quarterback can do is you see Taylor says, now look, that's intentional grounding, right? Wrong. Anytime a quarterback's in trouble, if he'll just throw it down the field, anywhere, it doesn't really matter. They won't call a penalty. But if he throws it out of bounds, throws it to the flat, out on the flat, hey, they'll throw that flag up there and call him for intentional grounding.
Carl Poe has come back in as a 3rd wide receiver on 3rd and 6. And again, the spread formation. Giants don't blitz a lot. They're sending 5 this time. White, deep left side, incomplete. Oh, caught! And it's Carl Poe again. After Newsom kicked it, Poe caught it. And Danny White was belted. And is still down. There's also a flag down. We may have holding.
Holding, number 66, decline.
Well, that's Chris Schultz, 66, the guy that we talked about earlier on Marshall. I'm sure a while ago he held him up. A while ago you saw him with his hands on him. That time they caught him holding. Left side of your screen, you can see Schultz.
Offense, number 66, holding, 10 yards.
Actually, it looks like he grabbed him with his hand and actually gave Marshall, Vern just kind of pulled him around and gave him a little momentum and threw him right into Danny White, so he probably is responsible for that.
That's 1 for Cooper and 1 for Schultz, 1 for each tackle here in this possession. Watch Chris Schultz
now
and Leonard Marshall.
Excuse me, Vern, get a good look. There's the left arm up under throat. Now the left hand pushes him off. Now Marshall's by him, and now Schultz reaches out and grabs him with the right arm and tries to sling him to the ground.
3rd down, 16.
five-man rush again. White, deep right side. Man is down there. Renfro has it. He killed New York the first time out with 10 catches.
Well, you see Ted Watts, 21, comes inside. Now, you see Mike try to fight back inside, and Watts holds up just for a second, respecting that move, and a perfectly thrown ball that time by White. You know, he made that little move like he was going to go inside. Then Watts said, hold it, it's going inside. So he planted Vern to drive inside. Then that was just that little bit of space, that separation he needed to get loose and make the catch.
10 of those 47 yards and 141 of those, 10 of those 47 catches and 141 yards came against New York. Fumbled by Dorsett. Picks it up, now he'll freelance. And will feel fortunate to lose only a yard. Andy Hedden, number 54, made the tackle. Dorsett opened the game last week on the second play against Cincinnati with a fumble that was kicked backwards 25 yards.
Well, how many times do you see a quarterback turn around and make one of those simple little pitches to the tailback, and then they drop the ball, and then a guy like Dorsett picks it up and makes a big play out of it?
New quarterback for the Cowboys. Gary Hogaboom has now replaced Danny White. Second down and 12. White is holding his wrist on the Cowboys sideline. Play fake. Pressure. Hogaboom in trouble. He is sacked. That's the 62nd sack for the Giants this year. As Andy Hedden got around Phil Paz-Derrick and made the tackle.
You're going to see Hedden in the bottom as he comes outside. As you see, Renfro's going to come out and get out of the way, and the Hedden's going to get in, beat off the pressure, and then he's the guy that's going to make the sack, this time on the quarterback, Hogaboom. Now he comes up, now he sees Dorsett, jumps over him, pushes him out, and then goes back inside and knocks down Hogaboom.
Third down, 16. Seems like we've said that before. It'll be 4th and 10. Jerome Sally, number 78, makes the tackle. And that will bring on Mike Saxon. There is Danny White, left holding his wrist. After a very nice start today, 5 of 8 for 67 yards. Well, the Cowboy drive stalls after they overcome 2 3rd and 16s, but this one they can't, and Mike Saxon's on the punt again. Bill McConkey waits for it at the 12-yard line. No score, 4:20 to go, first quarter. That's going to be dangerous. At the 7-yard line. A 41-yard kick. Giants get it back at their own 7. Just a moment ago, Danny White headed back toward the Cowboy locker room, accompanied by the team physicians, to check what is now diagnosed as a bruised left shoulder. He is expected to return. In the meantime, the Giants take over for the second time at their own 7-yard line. No score. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw here at Texas Stadium. Joe Morris for about 3. Joe Morris has just had a phenomenal second half of the season. 717 yards in the last 7 games. 14 touchdowns in the last 7 games. He has scored 17 touchdowns this year, and the Cowboys, as a team, have 10 on the ground. And there's a comparison of his first 7 and his last 7. And the average length of those touchdowns has been 13 yards. They haven't all come from inside the 3-yard line. Second down and 7. Morris again with Parkin in front. He's in trouble. But he is seldom brought down by the first tackle. Ed Jones and Mike Hagman finally shove shoulders together and get him off his feet. And the prevent defense hurries in because the Giants are going with a no-huddle. And the Cowboy crowd catches what's going on, and they start hollering.
Right now, the receivers do a smart thing. They come into Sims so he can call the play. Then they go back out.
Now, Cleveland, Terry, tried the no-huddle here early in the year, and the crowd got him out of it.
Sims in the flat. No flag. Bates and Morris had contact. It'll be 4th down. They did more than just politely meet each other.
Yeah, the crowd can get loud, but the fact that the receivers came to Sims, Vern, he called the play, then they ran back out, but it still didn't look like much happened. Bates was all over Morris that time.
Sean Landetta kicked it 60 yards first time out, and Gordon Banks is back to return for the second time. Last time he was in a football uniform and played was in the USFL championship game, Oakland Invaders. Here is Gordon Banks from Stanford with great speed. A flag is down. So is the ball. And the Giants have it if the play stands. There is a flag down. Recovered by the center, Bart Oates, and Fred Silva is going to straighten this one out. Now, this is one of those pre-possession or post-possession penalties, and it will determine who gets to keep the ball.
Kicking team, number 55. Illegal block above the waist. Previous spot, 10 yards.
The flag was thrown prior to the fumble. And Bart Oates doesn't agree. Neither does Bill Parcells.
Well, you can bet one thing. You can holler and yell all you want, but you're not going to change that guy's opinion. He said it. He said it. You can just go ahead and chisel it in stone.
So it's a half the distance call. Landetta is backed up within a heel mark at the end of the end zone. And Banks, thinking about that fumble, waits at the 50. No pressure. Nice high kick. Fair catch called by Gordon Banks. And the Cowboys have it 42 yards away as Bill Bates provides some protection. A 37-yard kick by Sean Landetta of the Giants. The Cowboys come out. They get it back. We have no score. 2:35 to go first quarter. Christmas Day on CBS Sports begins with the Blue-Gray All-Star Football Classic. Some of the nation's top seniors will be there, including Nat McCallum from Navy and Notre Dame's Alan Pinkett. Then the NBA returns as Larry Bird, Bill Walton, and Boston Celtics visit Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks, both Christmas Day here on CBS. Scoreless first quarter. Gordon Banks is in at a wide receiver spot now, replacing Tony Hill. He is lined up to the left side, and flags fly. May have been motion which drew the Giants across.
What they're doing that time, as you look at Bird.
Offense, number 75. False start.
That's Phil Pozderac, who has replaced Jim Cooper, at least for the moment, at right tackle. Cooper is out with a pinched nerve in his shoulder.
You know, these guys put their hands down, and boy, if you move those fingers or pick them up just a little bit, these guys are reading that defensive lineman, that is, and boy, they come flying off the football in that time. Evidently, Phil had picked his hand up, and so these guys jumped off and gave him a little penalty.
First and 15 after the 5th Cowboy penalty. 4th penalty of the first quarter. Play fake. Hogaboom. That is the 63rd sack of the 1985 season. Now, where will they say the contact came? It was the safety blitz, Terry Kennard.
Well, it's an unusual blitz. Normally, your blitzes come from your strong safety. But this time, it was Kennard, 43, coming from his weak safety position as the Cowboys are trying to roll to the right. Now, you're going to see him as he comes in from this side. He'll be coming in from right this angle, folks, and he's just full speed, and he's going to meet Gary Hogaboom right when he sets up. Now, there he is, right there, 43. No one picks him up. Hogaboom moving to his right. No one is responsible for blocking him, and he makes the sack.
That is a loss of 23. It's second down and 33 of Tony Hill back in the lineup. Dorsett
with Titans in front. Out to the 43-yard line. Jerome Sally, number 78, made the tackle. That's his second of the game.
Well, you know, you try to get, when you have a big penalty like that, and then when you compound your problems with your quarterback getting sacked, so the natural nice thing to do is, you know, Vern, is just get 5 or 6 yards, nice little safe pass, 10 yards, maybe 15 yards, but the worst thing you can do is try to get 25 or 30 yards.
Gary Hogeboom started one game this year. That was in Philadelphia when White was out with an injury. He also played in a loss in Detroit. He played in the loss to Chicago here. And he played one down against Cleveland here, but hasn't had a lot of activity this season. Deep right side, wide open. Renfro. Touchdown. He is the possession receiver, no speed at all. And he is having the best season of his career. And he burns the Giants deep on 3rd and 27. Septiad makes it a 7-0 game. That is Jim Schaffner giving Mike Renfro a hug. Started his association with the Cowboys as a ball boy when his dad was a coach here.
Well, you're going to see 21. Watts again comes in. Now he's looking inside. He says, there's Renfro. Now here's that move again to the outside. Watts bites on it, and bang, right by him goes Renfro. Now he's wide open. Boy, Hogeboom throws a beautiful pass. Now here's what I'm interested in. Now you see Welch come over. Now they're going to come up ganging on him. Now Renfro's not the fastest guy. They get him. Now Watts jumps on his back, knocks the ball loose before he has control, getting into the end zone. Now here's what is so amazing. No one goes to pick up the football. Look at Watts. Where's the ball? Nowhere. He's looking at the ref. Is it a touchdown? Renfro says, my football, my touchdown. Boy, that is smart heads-up football by Renfro, and a lack of really being aware of what's happening by the defensive secondary of the Giants.
You're saying that the fumble occurred before the ball crossed the plane.
Did not cross the plane, and the Giants weren't real sure. They were looking at the ref waiting for him to make a call, and the ball's bouncing around the end zone.
Septian, Tony Galbraith. Todd Fowler and Brian Salonen make the tackle at the 23. The Cowboys out of a 3rd and 27, and heaven knows they have had a number of 3rd and longs early in this game. Get the bomb from Hogeboom to Mike Renfro. Acquired a couple of years ago in a trade for Butch Johnson. It was thought he was going to be a backup receiver here. And it turns out that he is having the best year of his career. Maurice Carthen and Joe Morris line up in the eye behind Phil Simms. Joe Morris to the 40. Eugene Lockhart had to hurry to catch him from behind.
Tell you, if you sit around these Giants that drive this football over the field, you're going to see a little play action to Morris, who goes up inside. Now, Lockhart jams the tight end Bavaro crossing, and just by jamming him, he opens up the lane for Simms to hit. That time, Morris for a nice gain in the first down.
Bill McConkey checks back in as a wide receiver. Only 18 seconds to go first quarter. 7-0 Dallas. Play fake. Simms looks deep. Goes deep right side to a wide open McConkey. And he is out of bounds at the 42-yard line in front of Everson Walls.
McConkey in the bottom here, isolated on Walls 24. Walls evidently not respecting him so much as he looks inside, looking at Simms all the way. Never once had his eyes on McConkey, who just simply drives down there, 12, 15 yards, turns around. Simms hits him with the football.
First down, 10, New York. Morris to the 39-yard line. Mike Hickman, number 58, makes the tackle.
No, you might ask yourself, Vern, you know, why are they want to run the football and when they're throwing the ball so successfully? But Parcells said, look, at some point in this game, we have got to establish the run if we want to win.
It has been an exciting first quarter. We still have 3 to go. Sellout crowd on hand at Texas Stadium, and the Cowboys lead it 7-0. Cowboys lead the Giants 7-0. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. Giants with a second down and 6 from the 39. A reverse. Pitch back to Phil Simms.
Wide
Looks
open.
deep. Nobody open. Lobs it out behind Bavaro, and it's incomplete.
Bobby Johnson, 88, coming across the field, Vern, when they threw the football back to Simms, was wide open, had 5 steps on his man, but Simms did not see him and didn't turn his vision off. There he is, right there. That is open. Fellows just trailing. That's 4 or 5 yards. All you can do is lay that baby out.
Simms never got there. It'll be 3rd down and 7. The Giants are 1 of 3 on 3rd down conversions. They trail by 7 with 14:53 to go first half. From the shotgun, Galbraith lined up to the left. No blitz. Randy White comes and gets him. That's the 8.5 sack for Randy White this year. Sean Landetta replaces Phil Simms as the key figure for the Giants.
White in the bottom. As you see him fake the blitz, he's going to come right up inside. Beats his man that time badly. Beats Billy Yard, the left guard, badly.
Landetta quickly kicks it and gets a New York roll. It'll be out of bounds near the 11-yard line. Boy, he's been a find. Out of the USFL, took the spot that had been occupied for so many years by Dave Jennings. And the Cowboys get it at the 11, and Danny White has come out of the locker room and is back in at quarterback. Well, how about that substitution for Gary Hogeboom?
Well, you'd said so many bad things about Hogeboom in the times he had played, and they had lost, that he came in there and was going to shut you up with that long touchdown pass to Renfro, and now White's back in the football game. So obviously Landry's not going to have any quarterback controversy by putting White back in there. Oh, they were a guy short on the field. Danny's going over there now, and he's going to tell him to play.
Gordon Banks it is, who is into the wide receiver. Dorsett. Little slither move as he gets across the line of scrimmage out near the 18-yard line. Kenny Hill and Lawrence Taylor make the tackle. Boomer Esiason has thrown 2 touchdown tosses. Cincinnati leads the Redskins by 14. 49ers in New Orleans are scoreless. Cleveland over Houston by 2 touchdowns. Minnesota, Atlanta scoreless. Our score 7-0 as Detroit leads Green Bay 14-3. 2nd down and 2. Play fake. Flag is down. 1 hopper to Carl Poe. And now we'll check the infraction. Here's Greg Silver. Dallas, and if accepted as it should be, that'll be their 5th penalty of the first half. Curtis McGriff, Leonard Marshall, and Harry Carson.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving, 5 yards.
Fifth penalty for 35 yards against Dallas. Buffalo over Pittsburgh. Greg Bell had a 77-yard run in that game. And Tampa Bay's Donald Igwe-Buike has now kicked a 48-yard field goal.
Thought you'd gotten away from that name, didn't you?
Your old buddy Iggy. 2nd down,
no,
7.
My buddy Donald.
Double tight end set. White, deep left side, good coverage. Incomplete. Intended for Tony Hill.
Well, Tony Hill had one of those injuries last week. He had a hamstring where he landed on his neck and pulled his hamstring. So you know, I guess you got to be careful when you land on your neck so you don't pull a hamstring. But that time, Vern, he had about a half step on his man. Danny laid the football out. But what happened was Hill slowed down. He gave up on the route, and the ball looked poorly thrown.
3rd down, 7. What would happen if you land on your hamstring?
But then you hurt your neck.
Carl Poe and Gordon Banks both in. Cowboys will operate from the shotgun. 5-man rush. White to Hill, incomplete. It'll be a punting situation. Larry Williams, number 23, covering from the cornerback spot. And now Mike Saxon will kick from the end zone. Saxon is from San Diego, played his collegiate ball at San Diego State. Had a funny bit last week when they were getting ready to go play in Cincinnati. He said he had slept all week with his toes outside the covers to get ready for the cold weather in Cincinnati. Well, no such problem here today. Bill McConkey waits for it. And will grab it at the 44. Bounces off the first hit from James Jones, and then Jones comes back to make the tackle. A 3-yard return after a 42-yard kick. Cowboys lead by 7. 13:26 remaining in the first half. Cowboys lead at 7-0 on a touchdown toss to Mike Renfro. The Giants' first 3 possessions have all resulted in punts. They did have McConkey drop a pass for what could have been a touchdown.
And Sims is into that.
Largely on 2 long passes to Renfro, the Cowboys have 148 yards total offense. Sims going deep for Byron Williams. Good coverage and the pass overthrown. Ron Fellows was right with it. There's the man they call Bird because of his slight frame, Ron Fellows. Missed a couple of starts earlier in the year because of an injury he sustained in the season opener against the Redskins.
These guys like that. You know, they like to be put under the pressure and say, hey, isolate me out there. Let me go. They talk a good game, and, you know, they like to get out there and try to back it up. Sometimes they don't.
Morris in motion on 2nd and 10. Sims with time. Into the flat. Caught by Rob Carpenter for a gain of 3 to the 50. Dexter Clinkscale and Mike Hickman make the tackles.
Sims trying to go deep, Vern, and try to get his wide receiver down on a deep route, and they had him covered well, and that time he just dumps it off to Carpenter. Clinkscale did a good job of reacting back and making the stop.
That will bring up a 3rd down and 7. Cowboys have not blitzed that much thus far. See what they have in mind here. Tony Galbraith and George Adams join McConkey and Bobby Johnson and Byron Williams at skill positions. Now they show a blitz look. And an audible from Phil Sims.
Now they check out, backing out.
Cowboys check out.
Now they're back up inside. Now Sims is frustrated and calls timeout. No, they got a penalty on this.
Too much time.
No, timeout.
He did call time. There's also a flag down. Let's see.
Number 11 offense, delay, 5 yards.
What happened was he anticipated the blitz. He made his audible call. The Cowboys, playing games with Phil that time, backed off and shows that they were checking out, going to something else, when in fact they were never going to anything. They were going to stay with the blitz. Then Phil realized that, so he said, holy mackerel, let me get back to my blitz audible. Too late.
As a result, it's now 3rd down and 12.
I bet they do the same thing again. There they are, lined up inside. Same exact look.
Bates and Clinkscale lined up. Downs backs away. No blitz. Sims
wide open.
Has a room. McConkey still free. As Furman missed the tackle. And Dexter Clinkscale finally caught up with McConkey, who makes up for the drop in the first quarter.
McConkey come all the way across the field now. It's a really great job. Notice Bates backing out. It's a zone. White coming inside. Good job by his line of picking him up. Now Phil steps up, and there's McConkey wide open. They jump off into a zone. No one in the deep middle. And now good job by the wide receivers. He helps out on McConkey. Whoa, Dennis Thurman misses his tackle, and then down the sideline he goes.
1st and goal from the 7. Giants trail 7-0.
Play fake. Blitz coming. Incomplete. Pressure coming from Mike Hegman, number 58, who was right at the point of Simms' shoulder when he delivered the ball. There's the Cowboys linebacker out of Tennessee State. Been a quiet fixture in that linebacking corps for a long time.
You're going to see as Hegman comes outside, comes inside, and he's going to meet right in the back of Bill Simms. One of the little crossing routes. As we look at it now, there's a little play action. Now up inside goes Carpenter, and there's Hegman coming from the outside. Just enough to force Phil to get rid of the football.
George Adams checks into the backfield. Second and goal from the 7.
Blitz.
Simms.
Touchdown.
Touchdown is right. Bobby Johnson.
Well, they delayed off of their safety blitzes. They faked, got him out, confused the Giants, forced a penalty. Then they jumped off into their fake blitz and went zone. Now they get up inside on the goal line, inside the 10-yard line, and come with the safety blitz and get burned.
Eric Schubert is on to try to tie it up with the extra point. As Simms burns the Cowboys secondary, he is now 6 of 13 for 107 yards. Watch it from the ground level, Terry.
Well, as you can see, everyone's dropping off. Roar coming from the outside, then right up inside in the middle comes Downs, 26. And when you do that, you put your backs out here. Johnson, 88, man for man on Fellows, and he beats him, grabs the ball, great catch, touchdown.
Bobby Johnson ends a 53-yard drive with that 7-yard touchdown catch. We are tied as Schubert kicks it deep. Left side, Todd Fowler in the sunlight at the 10. And only back to the 19-yard line.
You're going to look exactly and see what Simms is seeing as all of a sudden, right up through the middle comes Downs. Bart Oates, the center, does an outstanding job of sliding to his left, and he picks up the blitzer. That time, the back picks up the tackle, and a good job by Johnson beating Fellows for the touchdown. He actually bounced that thing, then brought it back in, got his feet in bounds for the 6. 2
big pass plays, one to McConkey, one to Johnson. And we are tied at 7 as Danny White, having missed a couple of series with a bruised shoulder, is back in at quarterback. White for the day, 5 of 10 for 67 yards. Right flat, incomplete, intended for Gordon Banks. Terry, this is Gordon Banks' first extensive opportunity with the Cowboys. How much of an adjustment is it for a quarterback who's not worked with a receiver like this?
I asked Tom Landry that yesterday as we were watching practice. He was actually had these guys by the hand, Banks and Poe, and walking them through routes, making sure they understood. But the one thing he liked about Banks, and he said, he's an extremely intelligent man who has picked the offense up extremely quick. And he said that was all they needed to know. And he runs good routes and makes good catches.
2nd and 10 from the 19 with 11:36 to go, 7-7 game. Newsom is the motion man. Into the flat for Dorsett. And it's a gain of 2 yards. Harry Carson is there to make sure it's not more.
As you're going to see head in 54s, he comes inside. He is going to put the pressure on White. Now, when White sees this, the back is going to pass up. As you see right here, he's going to pass him up, and then there he is, Dorsett out in the flat. Now, they don't get a lot out of this, but this is kind of a scheme they're working. In comes one guy, out goes another guy.
3rd and 8. Cowboys are 3 of 6 on 3rd down conversions, and they will operate from the shotgun. Five-man rush. White with time. Intercepted. Picked off by Elvis Patterson. So much for the term toast, which is what he had been called because he's burned so often. That's a 27-yard return. And Patterson a little slow getting up.
From the shotgun, you're going to see Taylor going outside, trying to form a pick. Martin inside. Now, White stands in there with plenty of time to throw the football, and he underthrows. Actually, the ball's a little bit behind Poe as Patterson cuts in front and makes the grab.
First and goal. Joe Morris breaks the first. Doesn't break the second, loses yardage. Mike Hegman and Dexter Kingscale make the tackle.
As you look at Hegman, the real key here, Vern, for a defense is to penetrate. 10-yard line, penetrate. Don't let anything inside, force it outside, but penetrate. That time Hegman got in there, and he got his hands on Morris.
That's the first turnover of the ball game. That interception by Elvis Patterson is being helped out by the positions on the sideline. Second down and goal from the 10. Split back behind Phil Sims. Play fake. Right corner. Incomplete. Rawls was covering on Phil McConkey. It'll be 3rd and 10. And Michael Downs is over there as well. Phil Sims said last night it has been a long week in anticipation of this game. Not so much the media attention, but just anticipation of what it meant.
That, and he said, you know, a lot of study, a lot of film work. You know, he even went back so far as 5 or 6 years and said how after the 10th, 11th, 12th game, how tired they were.
3rd and goal. Adams and Galbraith are in. No shotgun. Blitz threatened by the Cowboys. Sims across the middle. That's an audible put in, especially for this game. Tony Galbraith. It's the same kind of play that Cincinnati worked against the Cowboys last year. They sneak Galbraith up, but this time it's a pass instead of a handoff.
Exactly. They let the guys penetrate, act like you're going to block them, and then from the shotgun, you can't tell. You know they're not going to hand the football off, and then dink, little dink right over the middle. And good job by Galbraith getting open.
Bill Parcells told us about the play last night and said, watch it. We call it the porpoise pass. Just lob it over the middle, and the Giants lead. After the first turnover of the game, it takes New York 3 plays to get it.
Outside, right up the middle, they're going to do a good job of picking him up, as you notice in the right there. Now look at number 30, Galbraith, sitting up inside. Now he's going to go over, going to pick you up. Oh, just a little bump. Now I'm wide open for the touchdown. 8-man rush. Good job that time by Sims and Galbraith.
Second time in as many weeks we have seen teams solve the puzzle of the Dallas blitz. Running from the shotgun.
He said he would run it from the shotgun. That's what I was expecting. But the thing he did, he faked it and then Galbraith came over and made a little hit on Klingscale, turned him loose, and he was wide open. So it's just another little wrinkle that the Cowboys are going to have to worry about.
Well, as a result of Galbraith's catch, the Giants lead it 14-7, and they are set to kick off. There's Tony Galbraith in his 10th year and gets a 10-yard touchdown reception. That is his first touchdown as a Giant. Kenny Duckett to the 32-yard line. Cincinnati has increased its lead over Washington to 24-7. Jim Breach with a field goal on top of the 2 Esiason touchdown passes. And, of course, the Giants are rooting like crazy for a Washington loss, coupled with a victory by New York here today. 14-7, New York, 9:42 to go in the half. 1st and 10. Back in the lineup. Lower set, not much room. Buffalo leading Pittsburgh 21-7 second quarter. Atlanta has taken an early lead over Minnesota in the second quarter. San Francisco by 4 over New Orleans down in the Superdome. Our score 14-7. 2 touchdown tosses now by Phil Sims, 1 to Bobby Johnson and 1 to Tony Galbraith, and both within the space of 4 minutes. The second followed the only turnover we've had today. Second down, 8. White, Cosby gives Kenny Hill a ride for 3 more yards from the 49-yard line.
Cosby suffered a hyperextended knee when Mike Hagman fell on him the other day, and he was really in pain when we talked to him on Friday.
Said the one thing that they were going to have to do a lot of was crossing routes. As you see Cosby come down the field, sets up Hill, cuts back inside on a crossing route, and then White was able to get the football to him as Kennard, 43, came over to help out Hill.
That's a gain of 17 for Cosby, his third catch, and puts him over 60 for the season. It breaks his personal best of 60 last year. He now has 61 for the Cowboys. Backs in the eye on first down 10. Reverse. Gordon Banks has to weave to get out of a big jam and loses a yard. Harry Carson was the man who made the tackle, and the Giants were not fooled for a second.
One of those sneaky plays at the top as Williams is coming in inside. He jiggles inside, gets here. Now he's going to penetrate up, and he's going to be sitting right there waiting on the reverse. Now you see him coming off the corner. No one's blocking, and White says, hey, where'd you come from? Then Williams actually overruns him and then banks back inside. And then finally they were able to come in and make the tackle as Carson does.
Mike Renfro back in the lineup. There's Perry Williams, number 23. Second down, 11. 14-7 New York leads. Into the flat for Newsom. And he runs right into Elvis Patterson. It'll be 3rd and 10.
You know, Vern, talking to Danny White, he was talking about you get Cosby across the field, and we're going to try to get Dorsett crossing across the field. And one other thing he said in their passing attack was, we think that we can get our backs in the flat going at their corners and hit them for 5 and 6 yards. Well, they've done that a couple of times, but heck, well, that time they lost 6 inches. So maybe they'll have to kind of get rid of that.
Think they will?
Well, I would.
3rd down and 10. From the shotgun, Carl Poe back in the lineup, the rookie. Top of your screen. Blitz is coming. White reads it. Incomplete. 4th down. Herb Welch with the coverage, and the Cowboys will have to kick. As Tony Hill was the intended receiver, but Watts was also in the area.
Well, we've seen corner blitzes. We've seen Williams come and try to put the pressure on him. Now you're going to see Lawrence Taylor at the top of your screen. He comes inside right there in the middle. He, along with number 54, Hedden, both outside linebackers that time, blitzing White.
Mike Saxon to punt on 4th down 10 with 6:37 to go in the first half. Touchback. Coming up next weekend, a special edition on CBS, The Year in Sports, 1985. Who could have imagined? That all starts at 2 o'clock Eastern Time next Saturday. A special edition of Sports Saturday for you. Highlights of all kinds of things that went on during the sports year. Giants have it 1st down 10 from their own 20 with a 14-7 lead. Sims, 2 touchdown passes so far. Play fake again. With time into the flat, caught by Maurice Carthen. And Dexter Clinkscale, number 47, made the tackle with help from Eugene Lockhart.
Yeah, the Cowboys play a flex defense, which is really, Vern, it's a gap 8. There are 8 people responsible for gaps. And one of the ways to attack it on 1st down, because it is designed to stop the run, is to come out and fake the run, which is what Sims did. Turn around and throw those little passes out in a flat little swing hook. Boy, you get your 5, 6, 7 yards that way. And unless they change it, get out of the flex.
That's a gain of 6, 2nd down and 4. Giants lead 14-7. Play fake again. All day for Sims. Morris with a little stutter step gives New York a 1st down at the 34. Gene Lockhart makes the tackle. Look at it from the end zone.
Once again, it's a crossing route. It's a little play action to Morris. There goes Bavaro across the field. At the top of the film, you'll see, or the game, you'll see Johnson coming inside. Then Morris just slips out to the right, makes the grab, and gets the 1st down.
That is Giants' 7th 1st down, and Phil Sims is 9 of 17 for 131. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. 5:11 to go in the first half. Again, the play fake. Again, going deep. Walls with good coverage, tips it away. Intended for Byron Williams, a speedster, but Walls was with him stride for stride. Everson, of course, leads the league in interceptions with 8, but hasn't had one in about a month.
Sometime during a game, you always like to air it out, kind of put it up there and let them know you got the arm. You let them know you're going to be thinking deep. Boy, this is just a great effort by Walls as the ball was right there. And then right at the very last, Walls sticks his hand up there and knocks it away.
If he wins that title this year, he'd become the first man in NFL history to lead the league in interceptions 3 separate years. Joe Morris. Watch him scoot. You never see him brought down by the first man, and you still haven't. Jones and Walls finally get there.
You're going to see this time Carpenter's in motion. He's out of the place. One of the little sprint out draw kind of actions. And then he just cuts up inside right through Randy White. Now he's in the secondary. Now Clinkscale 47. He says, hey, let me get a shot at you. Then finally, too tall Jones, Ed Jones, 72, has to come all the way downfield and make the stop.
Here come the Giants. Play fake again. No pressure again. Across the middle again to Galbraith, or Morris rather. And he's got the ball at the 40 in front of Mike Hegman.
Talking to Parcells yesterday, I was asking about Morris. He said, you know, this guy, we didn't realize that he had eye problems. So we sent him down there a couple of years ago, and the guys check him out and say, hey, this guy's nearly blind. What you see from the 50-yard line, he'd have to get up on the 6-yard line if you were looking at the goalpost to see the same thing. So I said, well, did that change it? He said, well, we gave him glasses, and he could see what he's doing. Now he's a good receiver, and as we're seeing here in this drive, 2 first-down play actions, he's made both receptions.
3:47 to go in the half. Landry looking on with some degree of concern. Morris again, that might be enough for a first down. John Dutton made the tackle. See if they want to bring the chain out. 30 yards on 8 carries for Joe Morris now.
You know, it's kind of, here's something you can look at. Tomorrow they're going to vote. Monday they're going to vote on Pro Bowl. We got Dorsett and we've got Morrison here today. Now, in your opinion, could one of these guys that really outshines the other, could he be the guy that's selected?
Well, it depends, I would think, on how many are watching this particular game. If the players, before they vote, acknowledge what's going on here. I would think that based on the history that they have, Dorsett would be the favorite to get the spot. But you can't ignore 17 touchdowns and the kind of year that Joe Morris has had, becoming only the 2nd runner in Giant history to go over 1,000 yards.
Well, you gotta respect.
Would you put him in?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why I asked you. I didn't want that burden on my back.
That's what
but you got to be impressed with a guy that is his size and has the desire and the heart and has really the statistics to back it up.
3rd and a foot. 14-7 Giants. Morris has got the first down at the 35-yard line. And what a big lift this would be for the Giants if they can work on the clock here in the final 3 minutes and get at least some kind of score, because they have dominated the 2nd quarter.
Until Morris emerges as a great running back, Vern, they primarily like to throw the football, strike big. You know, Parcells says, hey, I like that ball down the field. But they've developed a more balanced offense of running and passing since this guy's come on so strong.
Cowboys haven't gotten a turnover yet. And Sims is back to play fake in the face of a blitz. And Sims burns the blitz one more time. Everson Walls in front of Byron Williams.
All-out linebacker blitz, play action that time inside to Adams, then turn around and fire the football outside, one-on-one outside. As you can see, Walls comes up and finally has to make the stop on Williams. Now let's look. Here's what happened. All these linebackers blitz up the middle, blitz from the outside, and when you blitz these guys, then you're isolating your receivers one-on-one. That's exactly what happened, and the Giants made a good job of picking it up and hitting the right guy.
And as the Giants are ready to call the play, we get the 2-minute warning. It has been an all-New York 2nd quarter. It has been said that Tom Landry has no sense of humor. That is not always the case. During a game between the Cowboys and Giants back in the early 70s in Yankee Stadium, a bomb threat was phoned into the press box. After the game, they asked Tom Landry, did you hear about the bomb threat? And he said, yes.
said, what would you have done had it gone off? He said we would have paused for 30 seconds of respectful silence, then continued with enthusiasm. Septien will try and tie it up. Done. And for the 58th time in the last 6 years, Ed Too Tall Jones has knocked down a pass.
You're going to see as he comes around, and then Jeffcoat comes up inside, and he comes behind Sims. Now there's the play. Now here comes Jeffcoat in the bottom left. Now up top you see Jones coming inside, gets that big right hand in there. Then Jeffcoat comes up inside, picks it up, and lumbers down the field. Look at that. Look at the stride on this guy. 77.
He looked like Larry Cole at his finest. He was a #1 draft choice 3 years ago, and said among his goals is to prove that the recent history of bad #1s for the Cowboys was not going to apply to him. Too Tall. 7th time he's knocked down a pass this season.
Now Too Tall, look at him, show him how he did. Got that right elbow in there, dipped my shoulder, got my hand on him.
Joe Morris. To the 20-yard line. That was a 65-yard return. For the young man from New Jersey who played his collegiate football at Arizona State, Jim Jeffcoat. Timeouts remaining. The Giants have all 3. And the Cowboys have 2. Jeffcoat back in there. Sims goes right back to work. Dexter Quinscale. And Jeffcoat is there.
Trying to avoid being sacked, moving outside. Actually ran into his left tackle, Brad Benson, who helped sack him.
No huddle offense with a minute 25 to go. Now the Cowboys might want to think about a timeout. They do. Bill Bates. Bill Parcells. That 65-yard return with the intercepted pass was the first in Jeffcoat's career. And the first turnover for the Cowboys today. That is also the first pass interception by a defensive lineman for Dallas this season. And the Cowboys now have 1 timeout left.
It's been kind of disheartening, you know, as an ex-quarterback. I can certainly understand how Phil must feel. He's thrown the ball extremely well. He's had a sure touchdown dropped. He's had a key 3rd down pass dropped, and now he's thrown the football well. Now he steps up in there. Jones blocks the football, and I'd be doggone if it doesn't go behind him. And then Jeffcoat, the other defensive end, he picks it up and runs 65 yards.
We're just a minute 16 from halftime, and coming up at the half, Brent Musburger will update the scores and highlights from around the league. He'll be joined in the studio by John Unitas and Jim McMahon as the NFL Today takes a closer look at yesterday's Bears-Jets game. 3rd down, 13. Now the Cowboys will use their final timeout. Ed Too Tall Jones. That is his 13th sack of this year. That is a career high.
Now you're going to look at one of the really great defensive ends in the National Football League. Top left of your screen, 72. He's going to come around. Carl Nelson, right tackle, 63. Actually put it back over there, release the back. Now Nelson has a responsibility one-on-one on Jones, and he throws him to the outside and then goes back inside, makes the sack on Sims.
Cowboys use their final timeout with 1:12 to go, and Sean Landeta is in. Terry, put yourself in Phil Sims' spot, or any of the Giants. They're leading 14-7. They dominate the second quarter. They got the ball at the 25-yard line, and boom! Now, how do you come back from something like that?
Well, it is devastating. You can look at Phil Sims' face, and it's disappointing, and it really tears at your confidence. But, hey, as you look up here, you know, this thing's all tied up. It could be a lot worse, and the only thing you have to do is just forget it. And I think, as Parcells says, this is one tough customer right here, number 11.
Can you forget it?
You bet. Yeah, you can forget it. Tomorrow.
Landeta from the goal line, from the end zone, and Gordon Banks. And it's a fake, and it's picked off, and the Cowboys will recover. Dexter Cleasdale, touchdown Dallas. They might now rule it was a forward pass, incomplete, and the Cowboys will take over, no touchdown.
That's exactly right. And that's what they're ruling, Vern.
No fumble recovery. It was a forward pass. Here's Fred Silva.
We have an incomplete forward pass. First down, Dallas.
You're going to see Landeta standing in his end zone. Walls coming from the left of your screen will force him to pull the ball back. Walls goes by him, then Albritton hits him, so he throws the football forward, and that is an illegal, that is a forward pass, incomplete. Cowboys football.
After the incomplete pass, the ball goes over on downs, and the Cowboys have it at the 12. With 1:05 to go in the first half, they have no timeouts left. Dallas blocked the punt last week in Cincinnati, and they were coming at Landeta. And what a remarkable sequence of events in the last 2 minutes. White, Renfro, touchdown. And White was buried after he let the ball go.
This was an excellent throw by White as he anticipated, Vern, something that at the goal line you really don't have a lot of time to do. You don't have the area to lay the football up, but it's the bottom of your screen. Renfro comes inside on Patterson, brings him back inside, goes to the corner, and then Danny has to get rid of the football because he's fixing to be sacked, and there's the completion, and there's the touchdown.
It was George Martin who found Danny White. Set the end, he finds the middle of the goalpost. And after the interception return for the touchdown by Jeffcoat, White finds Mike Renfro for his second touchdown catch today.
The Giants that time had in their pass rushing group expecting pass. Martin, 75 at the bottom right of your screen, is going to come up inside. Derek tries to trip him, then he gets free of him and puts his helmet right in those ribs that White has had injured. And then what makes it worse is he lands on him with his helmet stuck right in those ribs. And I'm sure it's not the wrist, it's not the shoulder, but it's that injury that White had earlier in the season burned to his ribs. Did a great job that time. He knew he was going to be hit. He anticipated well, got rid of the football, and got the touchdown, but he paid for it.
Septien will kick it off. Kenny Hill will return it. And Jesse Penn hits him up around the helmet at the 28-yard line.
Well, if I were the Giants, I'd say, gee, what do you do? Do you run it? Maybe just put the knee on the ground and get the heck out of here. They've had the deflected pass, the punt that was messed up. I mean, everything's gone wrong for them here in the last 2 minutes.
Well, at the 2-minute warning, they had the ball at the Cowboy 25. It was then that Ed Jones tipped the ball. Jeffcoat picked it off 65 yards and ran it in for the touchdown. 3 plays, pressure on the punter, turnover on downs, and the Cowboys get their second touchdown in a minute. Sims, Jeffcoat, ball was down. The ball was dead. Jim Jeffcoat is playing like a man possessed.
Well, the thing that's happening is that Sims is holding the football, trying to get the football down there 15, 20, 25 yards, and you're putting a lot of pressure on your tackles, especially Brad Benson, number 60, who has Jeffcoat that time. There you see it again. He's got him. Now Jeffcoat shoves him aside, pushes him, gets around him. Sims standing there 4.5 seconds and just can't put that much pressure on the offensive line. What I'm impressed is how quickly he got up and gathered up the fumble.
2nd and 19 with 31 seconds to go in the half. Up the middle they tried with Tony Galbraith, and Dexter Clinkscale made the tackle. It was Clinkscale who said in the locker room yesterday, and of course he was a spark point of all of the first game controversy, the words going back and forth as timeout is called. And Dexter has been a quiet figure for the most part this week, but yesterday said, I don't know how Phil Sims will play in a big game. He hasn't been in any. Well, he's in a big one today, and he's played quite well. You really can't fault Sims for the deflection from Ed Jones.
Well, I know it. If I could put myself in Clinkscale or any other defensive back's shoes, I would want to keep my big mouth shut, because a guy with the ability of Sims and the receivers they have, regardless that, you know, Manuel's not playing, I would want this guy to think how great he is. I would just say he's the greatest I've ever seen. I love him. I think he's a wonderful. He handles clutch games well. And, boy, I'd blow so much smoke that this guy'd send me a Christmas card. I'd be doggone if I insult him. He's liable to come out there and pick on me. I might even send him a Christmas gift.
Well, we asked Phil last night how the animosity started between these two teams. So there goes Danny White to the locker room with bruised ribs. That's the report from the bench. They will check him at halftime. He may or may not be back. We've got 14 seconds to go in the first half. 21-14 Dallas. Again, it's Galbraith. And again, a big hole. And he is out near the 39. And the clock stops with 8 seconds to go and another timeout. Phil Sims said last night, he said, I think I might be responsible for igniting this controversy between the two teams. He was sitting in the locker room here last year after the Giants had beaten the Cowboys 19-7 on the day they celebrated their silver season. And he said, you know how those locker room conversations are. There are 15, 20 writers around. And late in the afternoon, a guy who was obviously a Dallas writer whom Phil did not know came up and says, man, you guys beat the Cowboys twice this year. And Phil said, I looked at him and I thought, well, you're asking me as if we're not supposed to. He said, that's what we do in this league. We try and beat each other. And Phil took it with some degree of unhappiness, and he says, yeah, we beat them twice. Why shouldn't we?
He probably said, we'll probably beat them twice again one of these days.
Right.
Well, anyway, that got back to the defensive backs, and they said, oh, okay. You know, another thing that he does, Sims, that's really different. You know, they used to get on the gas. You know, change that rule where you can't do all that dance and everything. And when he throws those touchdown passes, he gets down real low, cranks up that right arm, and really points. And, you know, and you got to think, well, these guys are seeing that, and maybe they're not liking that too well either. But hard as those touchdown passes are to come by, I don't blame him one bit.
21-14 could be the final play of the first half. On 4th down, Morris gets a first down and a lot of Randy White.
Makes you wonder why they call timeout.
I don't know if bizarre is the right word, but it's been unusual. That's the end of the half with the score Dallas 21, the Giants 14. We are back at halftime where the Cowboys lead the New York Giants 21-14. They got that lead by scoring twice in a 41-second period after the 2-minute warning. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Terry Bradshaw. The Giants really did dominate that second quarter, Terry. Do you think they can come back and reestablish that after what happened to them?
Well, the things that have happened to them are just, to use a word, kind of freakish. You know, a defensive end knocks the ball down, it goes up in the air, and another defensive end picks it up and rambles 65 yards, and then the punt. I mean, those are just two plays. As this game progresses, we may go to and say, but yeah, I would say they played well enough that they should not have lost their confidence and will play better in the second half.
Watch the key play after Jeff Coates' interception. It came on the punt with Sean Landeta back and almost resulted in a safety.
Bottom right of your screen, or in the top right, you're going to see Walls 24 as Landeta steps up to make the punt. Reason tries to block Walls, too late. Finally, Landeta says, here, take it, fellas. Number 27 says, I don't want it. Here, Scott, you have it. I don't want it. Clinkscales, you got it. Going in for the touchdown.
Well, it wasn't a touchdown. It was ruled an incomplete pass, but the Cowboys on the next play got a touchdown toss from Danny White to Mike Renfro. That means that Gary Hogaboom might replace White, who's out with bruised ribs. We'll find out in just a second. We are back for the second half. The Giants will receive from our right to left. 21-14. Cowboys lead it by 7. Danny White has not come back on the field. We expect to see Gary Hogaboom when Dallas does get the ball. Kenny Hill. A flag is down, and so is Hill at the 24-yard line. Tackle is made by Todd Fowler, number 46. The doctors, we are told, as you see Fred Silva indicate an infraction against New York, are still looking at Danny White. He has not come back out from the Cowboy locker room. And this will be marked off back inside the 15-yard line against the Giants. They begin the ball.
On the run back, number 44, illegal block above the waist. 10 yards.
That is Maurice Carthen. So New York, trailing by 7, has the ball at their own 10-yard line, first down and 10. Joe Morris again is not down by the first contact, and he struggles his way out near the 20. Michael Downs and Ron Fellows finally got up with him.
This is one of those backs, Vern, that because he's so short, you know, actually he has leverage on the defensive back. They go in there and hit him, and he's underneath them, and with those strong legs he booms, he drives right over them, breaks one tackle, breaks another tackle, and even Randy White had to come downfield and put him down.
Third quarter this year has been a huge Giant success, as you can see. And the Cowboys have been outscored in the third quarter in their games. Morris gets right by Ed Jones and then runs into Jim Jeffcoat. That's his 12th carry for 55 yards.
I'm really impressed with the offensive line these Giants have. You know, talking to Parcells and asking him about his offensive line, he said, well, these guys are suburban guys. These are suburban offensive linemen. They have these Brad Benson names and William Ard and Bart Oakes and Chris Godfrey. He said, those aren't your normal offensive lineman names.
No linemen from Toledo or Cleveland. They all come from Upper Saddle River, New Jersey. Incomplete on second down, first down. And Dexter Clinkscale was covering. Mark Bavaro, the intended receiver. Phil Simms in the first half was 11 of 21. He's now 11 of 22 for 149. Of course, in the first game, Terry, he had an all-world performance back on October 6th, 403 yards against the Cowboys.
Yeah, then when you get down to it, you have a fumble and you have a key interception. So those kinds of turnovers just kind of kill all those great records that you accomplished first time.
Second down, 10. Lots of time. Morris, or Phil McConkey rather, 80 instead of 30, and Ron Fellows makes the tackle. That'll be just short of the first down and brings up a third and about 2.
Sims is doing a good job here. They love to throw the football down the field. You know, they run the same offensive plays that we ran in Pittsburgh. Same calling system, 60s, 80s, traps, flow 36, same thing. And Parcells said, hey, we like to throw the ball like you guys, 20, 25 yards. But he said the thing that Sims does so well, if those guys are covered, he'll come underneath and take the short guy.
Third and 2, 21-14 Dallas. Morris. That's going to be very close at the 36-yard line. Ed Jones, Mike Hegman, and Gene Lockhart have a meeting with Joe Morris. Boy, those legs just keep driving with when he's got the ball. Wide body. And did he get enough for the first down?
Morris reminds me a lot of a back I play with, Rocky Blyer. Rocky didn't have his speed, was maybe even a little bit taller. Not a lot, you know, a couple of inches.
Bill Sims looks at Bill Parcells. What do you think? Sims tries to talk Parcells into it, but Sean Landetta's coming on. And Sims turns cheerleader. Sean Landetta will kick it unless they fake it.
I wonder what he's thinking right now.
Landetta? Well, Walls, who blocked the punt last week, came after him last time out. This time Walls is not lined up in a rush position, and they are not coming. High, not terribly long. Banks with a fair catch. Almost lost it, but gathers it in at the 30-yard line. That's a 35-yard punt, nothing on the return. Gary Hogeboom will be the quarterback. Coming up next Saturday on CBS Sports, the Redskins travel to Missouri to take on the St. Louis Cardinals. It all begins with the NFL Today live at 3:30 Eastern Time next Saturday here on CBS. Danny White has returned to the bench, but Gary Hogeboom is the quarterback. And it's first down 10. There is Danny White with the coat on. He tried to warm up, and it didn't look like he was having much success. First down 10. Hogeboom, the quarterback. Quick opener. Dorsett. Terry, you watched Danny during the commercial try and warm up. Do you think he'll be back?
No, I tell you, I looked at his face, and he was throwing. You could see the anguish, the pain, and then the frustration, and then the warm-up jacket. And that's a dead giveaway. You warm them up, and then you look at their face. You ask him how you feel. He wants to tell you that he feels fine, but he does. The jacket's on him. I don't think he'll be back.
Dorsett gains a quick 9 on the last play. Second down and 1 Dallas. And loses a quick 2 as Leonard Marshall gets it. Marshall out of LSU, Franklin, Louisiana. Had an interesting conversation with him last night. He said when he was growing up, he was a big Pittsburgh Steeler fan, and his dad was a big Cowboy fan.
Yeah, he said his dad dresses up in silver and blue and gets the cowbells out and the horn. Well, he would run and grab him some black and gold, and they said they had these battles all the time. He said Dad probably down there now got his cowboy colors on.
3rd and 4. Cowboys lead at 21-14. Marshall. Hogeboom is sacked. From a 2nd and 1, it'll be a punting situation.
Marshall says 2 things you get free in your life. One of them's your name, the other one's an opportunity to be successful. And I'm going to be a success in the National Football League. That time sacks Hogeboom. Gosh, he's on a good start of that, wouldn't you say?
And that ends a drought for him. Leonard Marshall gets his first sack in a month. That is his 14th and a half this year, but his first in the last 4 weeks. And Mike Saxon will have to punt.
Wonder how many of those ribs he ate last night. Boy, he had $400 worth of ribs up there in that room.
Byron Hunt, who was from Dallas, played football at SMU, had a bunch of his friends up for barbecue. Bad punt by Saxon. McConkey at the 40 to the 45 and down. Victor Scott made the tackle. There is Leonard Marshall.
Saying hello to his dad.
Coming up on Christmas Day on CBS, the Blue-Gray Classic from Montgomery, Alabama, live at 12 o'clock Eastern. That'll be followed by the NBA, Boston Celtics, and New York Knicks, live at 3:30 Eastern Time. First down 10, Giants trailing by 7 with 10:30 to go, 3rd quarter. Bill Sims, draw play. Joe Morris rips it up the middle for a gain of 7 or 8. Randy White and Dexter Klingscale make the tackle. And on the Cowboys sidelines, Danny White looking on in anguish, and I'm sure you can relate to how he's feeling right now.
Well, sure. You know, a guy's got bone somewhere sticking out, and they go in there and they tape a few aspirins around it, a little masking tape, push it back down in there and say, how you feel? And this sucker's killing me. So they take him out of the game.
Bruised shoulder is the official diagnosis, and he is doubtful to return. 2nd down and 3. Rod Carpenter this time, number 26. And that might be enough to move the chain. Randy White and John Dutton make the tackle, and that is a 1st down.
Orden Godfrey, left and right guard for the Giants. Oates, those 3 guys in the middle are responsible for White and Dutton. Are really doing an outstanding job as you look at Godfrey as they drive up inside and creating these lanes and these holes for this running back. You know, you're going at Randy White, number 54, is one of the great defensive tackles ever play this game, and these guys are really doing a good job of blowing him off the ball.
Fred Hoagland is in his 1st year as the offensive line coach, and he's done a great job with an unsung bunch in that offensive line. 1st and 10. Sims back. Blitz is on. Sims fires it, caught by Bobby Johnson, who's ridden backwards by Michael Downs, but he does get forward progress inside the 40. Bill Sims had an interesting comment to us last night about the Cowboys' defensive secondary. He said he could tell from watching the Cincinnati game film last week that the defensive secondary of Dallas had great respect for Cincinnati's receivers. He says, I don't think they have any respect at all for our wide receivers.
Well, with Manuel out, and they couldn't attack over on the side of walls where they wanted to attack, so he was really coming in here kind of paying them a compliment, and today he's going to earn that respect.
2nd and 4, 21-14, Giants trail. Blitz. Sims is hit as he lets it go, and then Downs makes the tackle after the catch is made by Mark Bavaro, but Sims really paid a price. Mike Hegman got there right at the time he delivered the ball.
Thing you're going to see is linebackers coming inside, looping outside, looping, then coming back up inside. This time, Lockhart coming inside. As you can see, Roar 50. They cross and come inside and put the pressure on Sims.
3rd and 1 with 8 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Mike Hegman looks on. Backs in the eye. Joe Morris. That should be enough. It'll be close for the 1st down. Jim Jeffcoat and Michael Downs make the tackle, but move the chain again. And the Giants come roaring out of the chute with an impressive first drive of the 3rd quarter. For Joe Morris now 64 yards on 15 carries. Needs 128 in the last 2 games to surpass Ron Johnson's all-time rushing record for the Giants.
You notice the Giants that time wide, normal offense. They didn't get into that goal line, that 3rd one. They spread everyone out, then blast right up there. Got the 1st down.
From the 32, 1st and 10. Sims deep, overthrown. Intended for Byron Williams, who wants a penalty flag. Everson Walls was defending.
You're looking at Williams, 87, as he comes back. You know, the thing a quarterback likes to do in the situation, we say plus territory, that's when they cross the 50 and they're in the other guy's territory. Boy, the thing you want to do, because the coverages are so tight, is, Vern, you want to attack those corners. They're going to get up there, and, boy, you try to blow right by them and really stick it to them, really get aggressive. That's Sims thinking right now. Boy, I want to, get this thing in the end zone.
2nd and 10. 21-14, Dallas leads. 7:10 to go, 3rd quarter. Delayed blitz. Sims is hit, flag is down. And it was thrown at the feet of number 67, Bill Ard, of the Giants. Holding, New York.
Offense, number 67. Holding. 10 yards, still 2nd down.
Bill Ard in his 5th year from Wake Forest, where he was a teammate of a current Cowboy, Kenny Duckett. They played under John Makovic, Kansas City coach, back there. And that puts the ball back at the 42. Giants haven't been penalized all that much. That's their 4th for 29 yards, but it does bring up a 2nd down and 20. Now see if the Cowboys come with a blitz. Clinkscale up on the line, so is Bates. Joe Morris slips another tackle and finally is hauled down from behind by Victor Scott and Dennis Thurman. Victor Scott is the only high draft choice in that Cowboy defensive secondary. He was a 2nd-round pick a year ago out of Colorado. Other than that, you've got Ron Fellows, who was a 7th-round choice. Thurman, an 11th-round choice. Wall's a free agent. Downs a free agent. Bates a free agent. Now it's 3rd and 13. 3 wide receiver set. And the Cowboys do not show blitz. Sims across the middle, caught. McConkey again, and this time another 1st down. Phil McConkey's having a big, big day. 5 catches for 104 yards.
Good job by the line. This is a 5-man defensive front that the Cowboys are giving. And, boy, the Giants do a super job of picking it up. McConkey comes back inside across the middle. Another one of those crossing routes, Vern, against those zone defenses. And then Downs, 26, finally makes the stop. Hey, it's too late. 1st down.
New York overcomes a 2nd and 20. They're inside the 20 now. Handoff. Morris slips left. Almost breaks another tackle, and he gains 2 yards.
Guy's covered in grease. Got 4 or 5 guys hit him again. Randy White got his hand on him. Jeff Coat, everybody grabs at him, and he just slips right out. Didn't get a lot out of it. He's pretty fancy running for a yard.
Jeff Rohr and Dexter Clinkscale made the tackle. Giants with 96 yards. The Cowboys last week gave up 274 yards on the ground to Cincinnati. And in their loss to Chicago, the 44-0 blowout, they gave up 216. And Bill Parcells said he wants to run the ball today. 2nd and 8. Sims pumps, missed him, now throws incomplete.
Boy, he had Byron Williams when he made that first pump. Byron Williams, 87, was standing right in the middle of the goalpost in the end zone, wide open, no one around. Now Sims is really frustrated because he saw it, he couldn't uncork it and get his hands. You're going to see him come in motion, and then Walls is going to follow. Now Clinkscale picks him up. Now he goes behind Clinkscale. Look at this. There's the pump fake, and he's wide open. And Phil missed him, got a little pressure. Now he's mad at himself.
3rd and 8. Giants are an excellent 6 and 12 on 3rd down conversions. Now watch Galbraith. He might be a key if the blitz is on. Tries to go across the middle. His chuck gets intercepted. Michael Downs gets only his 3rd of the year. Galbraith was the key, but he got chucked at the line of scrimmage, and that allowed Downs to come up and make the intercept. And Victor Scott is down.
Now you're going to see Downs he's just sitting in the middle. Bobby Johnson comes across, holds up, and then goes behind Downs. Actually, what happened that time was Johnson should have kept coming straight across the field, because when he gave up and went back behind Downs, he allowed Downs to make the interception.
Victor Scott is the injured Cowboy. He is behind Ken Rocker, the assistant trainer, and Dennis Thurman. Gary Hogaboom, the quarterback, and the Cowboys have a 1st down after their 2nd interception of the day. Dorsett going left, but not very far. Harry Williams, number 23, was right there. Coming up next Sunday, a CBS doubleheader. It all kicks off with Chicago against Detroit, or Atlanta versus New Orleans at 12:30 Eastern Time. And then the Cowboys go out west to take on the 49ers, where they have not won the last 3 visits out there. That's coming up next Sunday. It all begins with the NFL Today on CBS. 2nd down and 10. And Hogaboom to throw for the 2nd time. He's got Renfro open. And Kennard saves a touchdown. Hogaboom is down. And now up and staggering.
Renfro's going in motion. Patterson leaves him alone. He goes down inside, comes back up in the middle, and boy, this is just a blown coverage. He's wide open. There's a perfect throw. That time by Hogaboom, makes the catch. Big first down. Asking how these guys are getting so wide open. There to give. Now all of a sudden, Perry Williams coming off on the blitz. And boy, he just decks Hogaboom.
Pretty good use of the helmet. First down. Renfro with 4 catches for 123 yards. Dorsett darts and dodges, and the flag accompanies him to the ground as Curtis McGriff, number 76, makes the tackle, holding Dallas.
Seems like whenever either of these football teams elect to blitz, they get burned. That last time was a blitz, that time with Williams coming off the corner, putting these guys man for man. They just haven't been able to cover anyone today.
Offense, number 64, holding. 10 yards, still be first down.
That is Tom Rafferty, who's going up against Jim Burt today.
Knows his name, doesn't he?
Rafferty was quoted widely in Cincinnati for not knowing the Cincinnati nose guard Tim Crumry's name last week. He pronounced it Crummy and Crummer, and talked to him earlier this week. He said he's had 16 people walk up to him and say the man's name is Burt, Jim Burt.
I guarantee you he knows who 64 is.
First down, 20. 3:05 to go third quarter, 21-14 Dallas. Renfro, the motion man. Play fake. Hogaboom puts it on his hip. Goes deep for Cosby. That's up for grabs, incomplete. Cosby almost had to turn defender.
There's one criticism that Gary's had in his young career is the fact that he likes to throw deep. He wants to throw deep. He wants to go for touchdowns and make big plays with a man down. It must be the strong safety,
Kenny Hill. Well, the team physicians and the trainers are on the field to talk with Kenny Hill, and timeout has been called. Herb Welch has taken his place in the defensive secondary of the Giants. It's second down and 20. 2:54 to go third quarter. Cowboys lead by 7. 21-14. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw. That is Newsom in motion. Screen pass left side. Dorsett. Pulled down from behind, or he might have traveled a superhighway. Leonard Marshall again. Marshall told us an interesting little story yesterday. He was recruited by Oklahoma and roomed with Eric Dickerson when they went up to see Barry Switzer. He wound up going to LSU. Dickerson came to SMU. But I'm sure Barry enjoyed having him both on campus.
I'm sure he did. I thought maybe you were going to say something.
No. Third down and 14. Carl Poe back in the lineup. Hogaboom is 3 out of 4 now for 84 yards. Hogaboom goes for Newsom. Batted away. Great job by Andy Hedden. Newsom just wasn't concentrating and wasn't aware that Hedden was coming over the back.
Well, that was such a long way to throw a football. That ball probably had to travel 40 yards in the air, and it's kind of hard to drill that football in there. I'll tell you, it's a great effort this time by Newsom as he goes up high for the football, but Hedden, there it is. Now he's got his hands on it. Look at what Hedden does. Goes over and slaps the football away right at the very end.
That brings on Mike Saxon, and Andy Hedden gets ready to rush the punter. Phil McConkey is back to the 32-yard line. Kind of a line drive kick. McConkey with a chance to return. Bates with a chance to knock him down. That will bring a roar from the crowd. And a little battle has broken out at the 40-yard line after that 48-yard punt and 3-yard return. And Randy White is probably not acting as a peacemaker.
Well, it's funny how these little guys, Ted Watts and Welch, all these guys get involved with picking on all these big defensive linemen.
Sellout crowd. The Redskins are coming back. They've narrowed the margin to 4 points over Cincinnati. Third quarter score.
You know, if I were going to pick on someone, I want to look at this 17-16 49ers over New Orleans Saints.
Our score is 21-14. That's the way it stood at the half. The Cowboys had 2 touchdowns within a 41-second span. Sims with a play fake. And again with time, it's batted in the air, incomplete. This time it was John Dutton, number 78. Now in the twilight of a very outstanding career.
Dutton in the center of your screen. 78, pushing. Now, actually, he's not going to get in there on Sims, but now up goes the big left hand, and down goes the football.
2nd down and 10. Gene Lockhart, John Dutton. Cowboys have 4 #1 draft choices in that front 4. White, Jones, Dutton, and Jeffcoat. Carthen starts in motion. Joe Morris gets the handoff. Hagman gets him. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Cleveland laying it on Houston 28-7 in the 3rd quarter. Atlanta over Minnesota 14-7 in the 3rd. Detroit leads Green Bay at home. And we have a 3rd down and 9, Giants. They are 6 of 13 3rd down conversions. The Cowboys might be blitzing. No. Sims deep, caught short of the 1st down. Ron Fellows makes the tackle of Byron Williams. But it is not enough for the 1st down. Local radio station distributed 40,000 of those streamers today. Sean Landetta is on to punt. Word on Kenny Hill, by the way, from the Giants bench is he has a bruised shoulder, but is expected to return. Landetta, fine kick. Gordon Banks at the 19. Welcome to the Dallas Cowboys. That's a 27-yard return. That's why they signed him. The Cowboys are dead last in the league in punt returns.
You're going to see Banks. Normally they'll take it up, but he gets this punt, goes dead left, picks up the wall. Now he's flying down the sideline. Now he's setting up a guy, goes back inside. Boy, it's a good block right there. Now it's just down the field. Cuts another inside. Boy, it's a good job. Now, this is not bad for a football team whose special teams are one of the worst in the National Football League.
Quick pitch, Dorsett. Great block, Newsom. Close to a 1st down in Giant country. Harry Carson knocked him out of bounds. Dorsett now with 53 yards on 13 carries.
Danny White was telling me that if we're going to win this football game, Vern, we're going to have to come out and play with lots of emotion, offensively, defensively, special teams, the fans, and I think all 4 of those things have happened today.
Danny White has not played in this half. Bruised ribs and a bruised shoulder. 2nd down and 1. Final 12 seconds, 3rd quarter. Dallas leads at 21-14. That's the way it was at the half. Newsom jammed up short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
Boy, good job by Carson filling inside. Once again, Vern, they bring Perry Williams off at right corner, bring him inside, timed it up perfectly, and went inside on the blitz.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. The Dallas Cowboys 21, the New York Giants 14. We now pause for this word from your local station.
Football League is sponsored by Hewlett-Packard, the people who turn your business computing problem into a business computing solution. Today's Chevrolet, who invite you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
As we begin the 4th quarter, Cowboys 3rd down and 3 after a 2-yard loss from Timmy Newsom. Renfro starts in motion. Cowboys are also in motion. Flags are down, and Hogaboom's in deep trouble. And the Giants will no doubt take the play. Jim Burt and Leonard Marshall were there, and Landry cannot believe it.
Kind of reminiscent of the thing that happened last week against the Bengals, where they ended up going needed 32 yards for a first down.
Number 30, illegal motion, decline.
Dallas went from a 2nd down and 1 at the Giant 44 to a 3rd down and 23. And Jim Burt is limping off.
Well, they can only afford to lose Burt. The guy that'll back him up probably be Sally. He'll come in there, number 78. You can look at him and tell he's ideal for nose tackle. About 6'1", 285, big legs, big waist.
Mike Saxon on now on 4th down. I said 23. It's actually 4th and 20. Dallas loses 19 yards in the last 2 plays. Steve DiOssi centers for the punts. He sends it back. And McConkey at the 25. Nailed to the 27. Bill Bates again with Brian Salonen to help him. Special edition of the NFL coming up next Saturday. The Redskins and the Cardinals meet in St. Louis. That all begins with the NFL today at 3:30 Eastern. Then next Sunday, a doubleheader. Most of you will see Chicago versus Detroit. Some of you will see Atlanta versus New Orleans. That begins at 12:30 Eastern. And then the Cowboys take on the 49ers out in Candlestick. That's next weekend here on CBS. First down, 10 Giants. 14:28 to go, 4th quarter. 21-14, Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw. Play fake Sims. Right side, wide open, Williams. And Walls has to recover to knock him down at the 44.
Once again, it's a play action on 1st down, trying to hold the linebackers. They've had trouble throwing the drop back passes, Vern, because of the rush has been getting in there. So on 1st down, Sims is going to spin out to his left. There it is, a little play action to Morris, who picks up the blitzing linebacker Rohr, then turns outside and does a nice job of getting the ball out here to Williams.
Sims is now 17 of 32 for 207 yards. Ryan Williams has caught 3 for 37, including 17 on the last play. 1st and 10, 13:45 to go in the game. Play fake again. Blitz coming. Mr. Jeff Rohr misses it. And Sims throws it away. And there is no flag.
Set up here, and then he'll get him, he'll duck, and then come back outside and throw the ball downfield. And if you throw it downfield, now the fans are booing. Now comes Rohr. Boom. Now he ducks. Oh, now he's outside. Now Heckman's on him, or Lockhart, and he throws it downfield. You can do that.
2nd and 10. He's going deep for Williams, who's open. And the ball is just overthrown as Walls was burned. Was it catchable?
Yes, it was catchable. It would have been a great catch. The ball actually, Phil let him out just a little bit. If anything, that time Williams could have left the field and then lunged out and made the catch. But you can see Walls is behind him. Look, he actually holds up a little bit, expecting another route. And there's the throw. You know, he maybe could have lunged out, Vern, and made a great effort that time. They need the big play, and that very well could have been the big play they needed.
It's good news, bad news with Byron Williams. Great speed, bad hands. 3rd and 10. No blitz. Sims with time. Caught. Bobby Johnson. 1st down at the Cowboys' 42-yard line. Vince Albritton made the catch at the tackle.
All of this starts with time. You've got to have time to throw the football. The line's doing a good job. Phil stands in there, finds his man, pops the football to him. Now, this is a good little piece of running by Johnson. He dips in, dips out, and Albritton, 36, finally makes the stop. Now, look what happens in the line of play this time. If you look at Randy White and Art as they go, look at Oates and then double him up, hold him a little bit there. Oates is holding a little bit, and then Art pushes him out.
1st and 10. Sims on first down, looks deep, goes deep. This time Walls has coverage, and the ball is overthrown. As it was intended for Phil McConkey, but Walls had drifted deep with the snap.
Walls says, hey, look, you guys, you know, I may be stupid. Sometimes you get me on some. I'm not going to bite for this stuff all day long.
21-14 with 12:39 to go in the game. First time the Giants have fought for a division title since 1963. 49ers lead New Orleans by 5. And Cleveland by 21 over Houston. Buffalo leads by 1 over Pittsburgh. It's second down and 10. Delayed blitz by the linebacker. Sims deep. Williams drops it again. Hegman and Walls gave him some company.
You're going to see Williams once again as he comes across the number 87. You see him coming across. Now this football is thrown high as he goes up. Now this ball could have been caught, probably should have been caught, but I wouldn't doubt if he saw Hegman in the left corner of his eye as he extended himself and said, wait a minute, guys, I'm not going to give you my ribs.
On the last 3rd and 10, the Cowboys did not bring the blitz. Let's see if they have it in mind this time. No spread formation. Dallas is coming. Sims goes deep left side. Man-for-man coverage. It's incomplete. Victor Scott was right there with Bobby Johnson. 4th down. And listen to the hand for the Cowboy defense.
We've talked about blitz. They've faked the blitz. They've shown the blitz. Most sometimes linebackers coming off the slot. Now you're going to see Walls here. I mean, sitting inside. Here you're going to see another safety lined up. Now they're going to come. That's Downs on the outside.
There's the Landeta kick, which is out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. There is also a flag down back at the 41-yard line. And let's check and see if that might be illegal procedure against the New York Giants. If the Cowboys choose to have it, there's Bill Parcells. One of the subtle ironies of this encounter is that Parcells' youngest daughter is named Dallas. His 21-year-old daughter said, how did that happen, Bill? He said, well, I named her after my college roommate's wife. Now Lawrence Taylor, looked like Silva changed his mind and said, no, it's illegal procedure, Dallas, not against.
Now Parcells says, where's the ball? Now they're going to tell him it's on the 13-yard line, coach.
Here's Silva to straighten it out.
Defense, 12 men on the field, refuse, first down.
So the Cowboys will get it back. They will have it at their own 13-yard line. We have 12 minutes and 23 seconds to go with Dallas leading by 7. Velour. He was a 5th-round draft choice out of the University of Washington a year ago. He has never played in a National Football League regular season game. Welcome to the unveiling of Steve Velour. Gary Hogeboom suffered a blow to the head when he was hit by Perry Williams a while ago. It is doubtful he will return. And Steve Velour, who has been the 3rd-string quarterback for 2 years, is now in the cockpit. And Dorsett doesn't get anything.
I'll tell you something you can look at here and go back is yesterday the Giants now only have Rutledge and Sims as quarterbacks. Hotstetler's placed on the IR, and the Cowboys are fortunate now today as they have 3 quarterbacks. So you can say, hey, if they put one of their guys down, they would really be in the doghouse. Who would be quarterbacking? Probably Bates.
There is Jeff Rutledge, who is the backup man for the Giants. Hostetler's back in New York watching. Second down and 12. And don't expect Velour to be throwing from this kind of position. And off Dorsett, nothing. It'll be 3rd and 11. Now, what kind of a play selection might Landry send in here?
Well, That's a good question, Bert. I don't believe Tom Landry will alter the game plan one bit. He'll go down his list of 3rd down and long, and he'll check and see, we haven't used this, we haven't used that. Here's the play we want. We're going to send it in, and Pellure's going to have to execute, and evidently they believe he can. I don't think he'll change anything. I don't think he'll play safe just because this is his first pass.
On 3rd and 11 from his own 11.5, he is about to throw his first pass. Cowboys are 0 for their last 7 3rd down conversions. Pellure from the shotgun. And he is down at the 13. He still hasn't thrown his first pass. Jerome Sally, the nose tackle, got him.
This is something that a young quarterback that they'll learn, but first time out he throws the ball, he gets a little pressure. First thing he's thinking is run. He sees an alley, he tucks the ball, Vern, and he takes off running. Later on he'll take off running, pull up, and look for receivers.
Now Mike Saxon will kick from the end zone. 10:30 remaining in the ball game. 21-14. McConkey is waiting back at the 42-yard line. See if the Giants have the rush on. They've got a 9-man front. And a great kick by Saxon. Oh, what a super kick. And McConkey loses Vince Albritton. Then Bates makes the tackle at the 43, and a flag comes flying from way downfield. Face mask. Albritton had McConkey nailed at the 34.
What a collision we would have had if Albritton would have been able to time it up and nail McConkey right on the spot. Instead, McConkey just barely missed him, and then he went out to the left side. There it is.
Face mask Dallas. That was a 52-yard punt, 6 on the return.
On the tackle, face mask, 15 yards.
There's Bates, 40. He's coming up inside. It looks like no, that's Bates. Bates is the guy that gets the face mask.
And after the 15-yard penalty, the Giants take over at the Cowboy 42-yard line. There is Steve Pellure, third-string quarterback. What must be going through his mind as the Giants take over with a first down at the Cowboy 42. Joe Morris comes right, ankle tackled and down at the 41-yard line. In this half, total offense, the difference is staggering. The Giants 112 and the Cowboys 10. Dallas scored 14 points in a 41-second span after the 2-minute warning in the first half. That is the margin by which they lead. Bill Parcells looks on. His team has a 2nd down and 9. Sims, right side. Mike Hagman slipped, and Mark Bavaro makes the catch. That's a first down at the 30.
Bavaro's a young man that had an injury, and they were really kind of worried about whether or not he'd be able to play. Or well, they thought he'd play. Didn't know how long he'd play. You're going to see him to go down. Hagman's going to slip. Good square out move there. Nice throw by Sims. Hey, that looks pretty easy.
First down, New York at the 29-yard line. 9:29 to go. 21-14. Dallas leads. NFL Eastern Division lead is on the line. Morris scoots out of one and into another. He's down at the 25. Lockhart and Hagman make the tackle for the Cowboys. Randy White was there, and Joe Morris easing toward 100 yards. He's got 20 carries for 79 yards now.
Now the thing we can look for is, will the Cowboys come out with their blitz? Every time we've seen them inside the 30, we saw them last week against the Bengals. They were burned. Today they've been burned. Will they play blitz or will they play soft zones?
2nd down and 7 from the 25 with 8:55 to go in the game. Here comes the blitz. Sims goes deep right side, and there was a mix-up in the patterns. McConkey took a post and went toward the center, and Bavaro was short on the right side. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Something the Cowboys have tried time and time again is trying to tie up. As you look at the linebacker sitting here, and he'll just going to look at the bottom right down, so he's going to tie it up, and boy, he's going to come flying in there. So what you call a delayed blitz. There comes the linebacker, and here comes down, going around the ref. they got a miscommunication. Receiver runs inside. Sims throws it outside.
No shotgun on 3rd and 7. Blitz threatened by the Cowboys. Will they come? No. Sims drops back, is hit as he lets it go, and it's incomplete at the 15. McConkey was the intended receiver, but the pressure was right in the face of Phil Sims.
Phil got hit just as he drew his arm back, but he got the football into McConkey, hits him low, and actually a defensive back that time, Byrne, came over and got in his vision and forced him to drop the football. Now, they get down here, and then they get these kind of plays happen to them. You know, then you get some touchdowns.
Eric Schubert's longest field goal this year has been 41 yards. He is 10 of 12. This will be from 42 yards out. Fake. Rutledge. Cowboys take over.
This is an option. You're going to see this time the quarterback, as he takes the football, Rutledge goes down the line of scrimmage. Now, he is actually going to option this football. No good. Downs is right there to make the tackle. Can you believe that? They were going to take the quarterback and option it with the kicker?
Earlier this season, that same play worked for the Giants for a touchdown. It doesn't this time.
Well, there's the answer, huh?
Steve Pallure in his second series as a quarterback in the NFL. Still has not thrown a pass. The Cowboys with 10 yards total offense in this half. Now the first pass. It's complete. Dorsett to the 32-yard line. What does that do for the guy now? Steve Pallure, I'm talking about, Terry. In any context, does that ease the pressure just to get the first one done?
You bet. Regardless of whether it gets any yardage or not, the fact is he dropped back, he got his feet planted, he read the coverage, he tried to go deep, they recovered, he dumps it off the Dorsett, they get 4 yards. You bet. He says, hey, all right, I can do this. I feel pretty good now. Now he's probably going to want to go deep. You know, Landry, send me in something, let me go deep.
Second down and 6. Newsom the motion man. 8:30 to go in the game. Dorsett to the 39. That should move the chain to the first down. Lawrence Taylor made the tackle. Bill Parcells gambled and lost, at least for the moment. Called the fake field goal. Did you like that call?
Well, it surprised me, and I think that if it surprised me, he was hoping he could catch the Cowboys by surprise. It didn't work. You look at it, he give up 3 points, or a chance at 3. He's trying to get down there and get a touchdown, tie the game up. I say, okay, good call.
However, if he kicks the field goal, it's 21-17, and his team is dominating in this half. So he might have had a chance to get it to come back. So it makes the game fun. Here's Dorsett. He makes it fun, too. First down at the 48.
Right over Peterson, right over Paz. Derek, boy, good job out right sideline. It looks like Dorsett's got the afterburners on that. He just flew up through the line of scrimmage.
Dorsett has only 3 100-yard games this year.
Right side, look at Peterson go and pick up the linebacker, just turns him around, and then goes up inside, and finally Kennard, 43, the weak safety, has to come over and make the stop.
Dorsett now with 83 yards on 17 carries. Hasn't gone over 100 against New York since a foggy, wet, windy day in Giant Stadium in 1980. And the Cowboys are going to have to use a timeout because the 30-second clock had gotten down to 3 seconds. So Tom Landry's team has called timeout. 7:09 to go. That game followed by the Cowboys and the 49ers. Check the local listings for the games to be seen in your area. Vern Lundquist and Terry Bradshaw here with the Cowboys and Giants and young Steve Pallure, whose brother Scott plays linebacker for the Saints. First down and 10. Dallas with a 21-14 lead and 7:09 to go. Flags are down.
65, offense.
That is Kurt Peterson.
5 yards.
In any case, could that be because of the cadence that's being called by Pelluer? It's unusual.
Well, it could be that. You know, there's several ways to call plays. Some quarterbacks, and you could, I'll use this as kind of giving an example. We'll get up there and say, set, ready, hut one, and snap it. Now, another guy might say, set, ready, hut. And so you get the difference, and this guy has probably not taken a snap in practice in his entire 2 seasons with the Cowboys with the first unit.
First down and 15. We'll see if we can hear his cadence. Looks left. Dorsett drops the ball, and he had an acre in which to roam. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Coming out, keying the linebacker, number 55, Reasons this time as he drops back. Pelluer looking right, checks, makes sure there's no blitz. As you can see over here, Williams is dropping off the corner and now he turns around. Everybody's deep, and he goes to the back. The guy he should have gone to, and then Dorsett dropped the football. 1 for 1. Now the confidence is sinking.
7:05 to go in the game. 2nd down, 15. See if the Giants might have blitz on their minds. No, they don't. Pelluer going deep. Put it in there nicely, but the ball is dropped. Intended for Renfro with Gary Reasons right on it.
Well, the thing the Cowboys do not want to happen to them here, Vern, is with this young quarterback, they want to avoid the 3rd down and 15 situations. You know, they were running the football well. Then Landry says, well, let's try a couple of passes, but they haven't worked, and now they're in 3rd and 15. This plays into the hands of the Giant defense.
Landry looks on, hoping, I'm sure, he can settle down Steve Pelluer. Danny White's got the same thought running through his mind. 3rd and 15 with 7 minutes to go in the game. Now the Giants show blitz, and they're coming. Pelluer lets it go. Caught by Carl Poe. Flag is down. Poe is not. If the play goes, it's a 1st down at the 25. Let's check the infraction. Defensive holding. How about the combination? Holding. Decline. 1st down. A 2nd-year quarterback named Steve Pelluer from Washington to a 1st-year wide receiver named Carl Poe from Alabama State for one of the big plays in this game. That was a gain of 28 yards.
Top of your screen, Vern. Check. Lawrence Taylor, this is just a 5-man, 6-man blitz. As Taylor comes in, the ball is out of Pelluer's hands. Very easy could have called roughing the passer that time.
28-yard gain on 3rd and 15. 1st down at the 25. Under 6.5 to go. Dorsett inside the 20. Carl Poe is a 1st-year player for the Cowboys, number 81, as we said, 7th-round draft choice. Real quiet kid that they liken potentially to John Stallworth. Told me a funny story because Tom Landry has a well-deserved reputation for not getting names right. And I said, what does he call you? He says, Carl Powell. And he says he finally thought he got it right this week. Landry puts up a play for number 81, and he called him Pope, P-O-P-E. I said, well, your 3rd year he'll get the name right. He still refers to the other quarterback as Hoganbloom.
I wouldn't put a whole lot of money on that getting it right.
Into the flat. At the 15, it's Tim Newsom with Perry Williams on it. Elsewhere in the National Football League, with our score standing at 21-14 and 5.5 to go, the Redskins have come from behind and lead Cincinnati by 3. They will still be alive if they win. San Francisco leading New Orleans 31-19. Cleveland over Houston by 14. Atlanta over Minnesota by 1. Here, it's 3rd down and 1. Hand off Dorsett. Got some room.
Well, you got to admire the speed of Dorsett as he lines up behind the quarterback in a full-pack position, goes inside, dips outside. Kennard's on the chase. But, hey, this is a tough guy to run down, one of the fastest guys you'll ever see when he has a football in his hand. First down, Cowboys, 5-yard line.
4:56 to go in the ball game. Dallas hangs on to a 21-14 lead. Fred Cornwell has come in. Dorsett 12 yards away from a 100-yard afternoon. That is Cornell in motion. That's Newsom with the ball, and he drives to the 1. The Cowboys, of course, have not won the division title since 1981. Back in '82, they lost their last 2 games in that strike-shortened season. They did the same thing in 1983 when they lost to Washington and San Francisco. Last year, they lost their last 2 to Washington and Miami to get out of the playoffs. They're trying to reverse a trend, just as are the Giants, who've not won a division title in 22 years. 4:18 to go. Second and goal. Newsom, touchdown. And there's the kid with a key play on 3rd and 15. He found rookie Carl Poe for a 28-yard gain.
Well, you can do it in practice, and you can talk about it and look at it on films. What really matters is what you do out here when it counts. And Pallure has to be proud of his effort on this drive to put the Cowboys up.
The ordinary holder for Raphael Septien is Gary Hogeboom. So Pallure, who does take snaps in practice, now has to hold for the extra point.
Did a good job. This is a little spin-out action by Pallure as he just spins right, comes around to the left, kind of like an option. There you see Cornwell coming in motion. He's going to kick out on Williams, seals him down inside, and then all Newsom has to do is just trot into the end zone for the touchdown. Now you can go over and something you very rarely ever see is any kind of emotion on behalf of Tom Landry. And there, look at that emotion. You think he's not fired up? Look at that. I mean, he can't keep his hat on his head. Look at that. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We need to keep that little piece of film and send it up to Canton. That was excitement, wasn't it? You know, I had a nice talk with him, and for the first time in a long time, you know, he actually looked at me and said a couple of things. I felt so good about it. I really thought that Christmas had arrived early.
Well, he looked just like Mike Ditka. Here's the kick taken by the Giants out to the 23. Tony Galvis at the 27-yard line. One interesting note as Phil Simms comes back on the field, the Cowboy president and general manager Tex Schramm made a comment Monday that was widely distributed here. He said this is a really key game for the Cowboys because if we win, we can be regarded perhaps as a Cinderella team. If we lose, this current Cowboy team might be regarded as the worst team in the last 20 years. You and I talked to Tom Landry about that. He said nonsense.
Yeah, he said forget it. If we lose these next 2 games, I don't consider this a bad season for us.
It's not that big a game. Here's Galbraith, breaks the tackle, gets it to the 35. And in like manner, Bill Parcells said last night, sure, it's a big game. It's the first time Dallas and New York have played for the title on the line. But if we lose, it's not going to make or break the franchise. They have made great strides in New York with back-to-back winning seasons the last 2 years. 2nd and 1, Simms, left side. Galbraith belted out of bounds. That stops the clock with 3:29 to go.
Cowboys are playing soft. You know, people hear these zones. Everybody's playing zones. All they're doing is defensive backs are just dropping back and playing areas, protecting areas, trying to keep everything in front of them so they can come up and make tackles. They do not want to give the Giants a big strike, a 50-yarder, 40-yarder. They get that quick score, then get an onside kick, and then drive down again. So they'll let them have 4, 5, 6 yards. Take your time, you know, kill that clock.
First down and 10 with 3:29 to go. Sims for the day is 21 of 43 for 249 yards. Across to Galbraith. Bates from behind. That's a first down at the 47-yard line. And again, the Giants go without the huddle as the clock shows 3:15. Incomplete. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Second down and 10, 3:01 remaining in the game.
He said at the outset of the game that the Cowboy defense had to play up to the potential that they thought they should be playing. And I think today, they've answered. I don't think they're as good as they have been, but it certainly is an improvement over the last 6 weeks.
Sims, Williams drops another one. Flag is down. And Brad Benson and Randy White get into a little shoving match.
Well, Benson's, he's applauding. And when you see an offensive lineman clap like that, you bet it's against the defense.
Defensive holding. 2:55 remaining. Now there are 2 flags down. Here's Fred Silva to straighten it out. In a moment.
Got a little powwow going on out there. Now we got the side judge in there. Now here comes back judge. We got them all in there now. Probably all of this for offsetting penalties.
Defensive holding. Defensive holding. Number 54. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 54. 5 yards, then 15. First down.
Well, Randy didn't like his call, so he took a little shot at Benson, I suppose, who's doing all the clapping, or either that could have been Ard, the left guard. That's 20 yards. Boy, that's better than the big pass. And that is a bad time to get a personal foul. Let's see what happens. As you can see, White's at the top of your screen. Now he's going to come around. He's on Benson. He moves inside. And Benson comes off, tries to help out. Now, where the penalty is, I don't know. Now White's going to get up and evidently take a shot at somebody.
All of that means a first down at the 28-yard line. 2:55 to go in the game. Cowboys are blitzing. Sims is going deep in the middle. It's caught by McConkey. No drop there. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
Now you can see why that penalty was such a bad penalty. You're talking 20 yards. Now you give them a big play. You're down on the 3-yard line. They push this baby in with 2:36 and counting.
Inside handoff. Galbraith did not get in. Vince Albritton made the tackle. The clock at 2:25 and winding down. And again, the no huddle on second down. Galbraith again, and denied again. And Sims uses a timeout to kill the clock with 2:12 to go in the game. Bates with the tackle that time.
One of the problems that Phil had was when he got the big pass down to the 3-yard line, he wanted to go into his pass offense that's designed for the goal line, didn't have the people in there. They run 2 plays, which I think is poor calling because you're trying to get in there as quickly as you can, score the touchdown, and get out. Now you're looking at 32 seconds off the clock, Vern, by trying to run the same play twice and score. Throw the football 3-4 times, man, you're looking at 3 and 4 seconds, and you can get out of there.
Our score is 28-14 with 2:12 to go. Indianapolis knocks off Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay, 31-23. Buffalo leads Pittsburgh by 1. Cincinnati trails Washington by 3. San Francisco leading New Orleans in the 4th quarter. Houston trailing Cleveland by 14. Atlanta over Minnesota 14-13 in Atlanta. And Detroit trailing for one of the few times this year at home against Green Bay.
28-14 here. The Rams have fallen behind early out in Los Angeles, 7-0. Third down and goal with 2:12 to go. 28-14, Giants trail. And here comes the suburban line with Phil Simms right behind them, and an I formation. Now they split. Coughlin goes to the left. Joe Morris will probably go for his 18th touchdown this year, and he's got it.
Good call, Coach.
That breaks a record, not that it's significant now, but he shared it with Gene Choo-Choo Roberts, who scored 17 in 1949 for the Giants.
Choo-Choo Roberts. You're going to look at Carthen as he comes in motion. He's going to kick out on the corner clink scale. And all Morris has to do is dip up inside. Good block that time also by the guard kicking out on Walls.
Eric Schubert for the extra point with 2:09 to go. And the New York Giants have climbed right back in the thick of this thing on Joe Morris's 18th touchdown of the year. 28-21 with the onside kick to come. In any sense, Terry, did you sense a lessening of the effort by the Cowboy defense, a feeling like we've got a 14-point lead and 3 to go, and they softened too much?
No, what happened was they were giving them the 5, 6, and 7-yard, 8-yard pass. Well, okay, that's fine. But the key here was that they got the big penalty by White. They got a 5-yarder for offsides, a 15-yarder for personal foul. That's 20 big yards. Then turn right around, and then they get the big shot down over the post, and McConkey gets down to the 3-yard line. So, hey, you're talking 20 big yards, which they would have had to get in pieces. Well, you're looking at probably another 40, 45 seconds would have gone off the clock had not they had the penalty.
If you were not with us in the first half, this game turned around in a Cowboy way in a 41-second span. A 65-yard pass interception return for a touchdown by Jeffcoat. 3 plays and an incomplete pass. Then the touchdown toss to Renfro. 14 points in a 41-second span. Now the Giants have gone the length of the field in less than a minute. They have cut the margin to 7. And Eric Schubert is getting ready, and the Cowboys have 10 men up anticipating the onside kick.
It's important as a franchise and for a team to go on and become a great football team that you win tough, hard football games, and you win them on the road to become a great football team. You have to learn how to do that. For Phil Simms, his offense and the defense, they have to learn how to do that, and it's important now that they score again.
Might they squib kick this since they have 3 timeouts left?
Well, I would squib kick it, I guess, thinking the Cowboys are certainly just going to run the clock out.
That's what it is. Now to squib kick, they kick it deep. So no onside kick, and Duckett is back. Out to the 25-yard line with 2:01 to go.
Now you play kind of defenses that get you burned. You play the blitzing, stunning defenses with your linebackers and your safeties. You have to stop the Cowboys. You know they're going to run the football. They've got Scott Plur in there, a young guy who's playing in his first game, although he's thrown 2 or 3 nice passes. But you got a feeling the Cowboys, Vern, are going to try to run the football and eat the clock up. So I would come out, gamble, blitz, gap, stunts, do all those things that sound good.
And if they do, Dorsett's going to be the man. Renfro and Poe both come to the left side. 2:01 to go in the game. 7-point Dallas lead. Pitch out, Dorsett. Nothing there. Makes something. That'll be the last play before the 2-minute warning. 1:55 remaining in the ball game. Dallas up by 7. '49ers win in New Orleans 31-19. The Redskins are still leading Cincinnati by 3. And next week Washington is at St. Louis on Saturday, and then on Sunday Chicago, Detroit, the early game, followed by the 49ers and the Cowboys. 2nd down and 6, Dallas. Plur surprisingly wants to throw. Fires it out, caught by Newsom. Short of the 1st down, and that stops the clock, which is what the Giants wanted at the 32-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and 3.
actually, this is a good call coming out, play action pass, but the problem was that Scott couldn't get the ball into Newsome's hands quicker. He needed to get it in there a little bit quicker. He held the ball, pulled it down, moved out again. By then, Newsome had kept going, and he was on the sideline, caught the ball, and went out of bounds.
3rd down and 3. Giants have 2 timeouts left. So do the Cowboys. 28-21, 1:48 on the clock. Poe and Gordon Banks in his wide receivers. From the shotgun, blitz is coming. Ballure, left side, incomplete. The Giants get another shot. And they still have 2 timeouts left. Surprised with the pass call on 3rd and 3?
An interesting piece of strategy here is that the Giants bring in people that are specialists in rushing the passer in those situations. So, you know, maybe you come back and you run a football thinking these are the guys that are best against the pass, not so good against the run, so run the football. But, you know, that wasn't the call, so now they're looking at punting.
Here's Saxon. Not a good kick. McConkey with a lot of room to run. Saves another bit of time as he gets out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Vince Albritton forced him out. 34-yard kick, 4 on the return, 1:37 on the clock. If you joined us late, the Cowboys scored first to go up 7-0. Then Phil Simms hit 2 touchdown tosses to give New York a 14-7 lead. They had the ball at the Cowboy 25 when, at the 2-minute warning, a ball was intercepted at the knockdown. Jim Jeffcoat ran it in for a touchdown. That tied it. Within 41 seconds, the Cowboys went up 21-14. They had led 28-14. It's now 28-21. Blitz is coming. Sims deep. Caught by Williams. He's free to the 15-yard line. Six-yard gain. Caught out of bounds.
Williams on Scott, 22, as he comes down, he leans outside, gets Scott committed to the outside, comes inside, now he makes the catch. Now this is just good running here. Down the field he goes, Albritton chasing him, and then finally Downs, 32, or Scott that is, 22, comes over and makes the tackle.
That was a gain of 46 yards. It's 2nd down and 10 from the 16. Williams with 4 catches for 83 yards. Will the Cowboys gamble on the blitz? Yes. Sims, incomplete. 3rd and 10. 55 seconds to go.
That time, Bates on the right side, Downs on the left side, lining up tight. Snap of the ball, all of them came that time. Came inside, no way did Sims have time to set and throw the football.
The Giants rather, put in 3 special audibles for the Cowboys against the blitz in plus territory. They have used 1 so far. Let's see, Galbraith is the key. Watch him and see what he does on 3rd and 10. Now, Sims back. Randy White has it.
The key to this was if this state is send the man in motion, going in motion that time, if Galbraith goes in motion and they run with him, if the man over him runs with him, then they stay with the pattern and do not blitz control. That time Galbraith went in motion, they ran with him. That means they're solid in their pass protection. The only problem is 54 Randy White splits hard, gets around him, gets leverage on him, and sacks Sims.
And that brings up a 4th down and 18 from the 24.
Now that time, Had Bates not gone with Galbraith as he went in motion, had he not gone with him, then Sims would have blitz controlled back to Galbraith, coming back over the middle, and would have been wide open. But it was one of those cases where they run with him, kills that, they stay in the pocket and run regular pass routes. The only unfortunate thing for them was White got loose and made the sack.
So that was, Terry, the second of the 3 audibles.
That was the second of the 3 audibles.
4th and 18, 52 seconds to go. From the 24. No blitz. Sims drills it. Intercepted or knocked down? Intercepted. Victor Scott.
Sims looking up at the replay board, watching it, see if he's telling Parcells, hey, that wasn't intercept. Makes no difference. You're going to look at it again. You're going to see Bates 40 coming up inside, all Britton 36. It's just an all-out rush. It's really not a blitz. Sims avoids that by getting outside and firing on the sideline, but Scott breaks in front and makes a good interception.
46 seconds to go. Ernie Stautner congratulates the second-round draft choice of a year ago. The Giants can kill it one more time. They haven't used it yet.
You notice that Parcells shook his head then. I'm sure someone said, Coach, you want to kill the clock? And he said, no. You kill it here, they still have 3 more downs. The game's over anyway. It makes no difference.
If the Cowboys win this, and it's still not certain, the reason they will cinch the division title is because they have swept the Giants this year. And it will be their first division title since 1981. And for New York, it's going to mean a wait of at least 23 years. Steve Pellure's 28-yard pass to rookie Carl Poe was the key in a 72-yard drive that put the Cowboys up 28-14. And Tom Landry, who had dinner with owner Wellington Mara of the Giants last week, wins his 253rd ball game in the NFL.